Good afternoon and welcome to Rebels Radio away game today, live from Farm Park in Hayes. I'm joined by Adrian.
Good afternoon, John. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm a little bit fatigued still from Thursday. How are you?
Yeah, it was a good journey home though. It only took us about an hour, so...
I know, completely different to the way up there. No, I didn't see any Slough players on the side of the road or anything like that. But we are here at Farm Park and we'll take you through the teams. The referees on the pitch, we're about to start. Let's start with the home team, AFC Hayes, who are wearing blue and white. In goal, Damien Lefebvre. Number 2, James Walters. 3, Charlie Crane. 4, Ricky Michelle. 5, Charlie Good. 6, Lee McManus. 7, Michael Vincent. 8, Mitch Goff. 9, Tony Mendy. 10, Romain Thomas. And 11, Reese Rabis. And on the bench for them is 12, Dan Bailey. 17, Andrew Harewood. 14, Reese Paul. 15, Simon Jack Stanton. And 16, Jordan Laurel. And would you like to go through the home team?
I'd love to.
Oh, sorry, the away team as we are. Sorry, the home in our hearts.
Number 1 is Jake Somerville. 2 is Sean Fraser. 3, Ryan Parsons. 4, Guy Hollis. 5, Dave Woosley and captain. 6 is George Short. 7 is Johnny Dyer. 8, James McClurg. 9, Ed Smith. 10, Warren Harris. And number 11 is Jake Parsons. And the subs for today are 12, Dan Simpton. 14, Gareth Risbridger. 15, James Dobson. 16, Adam Cornell. And 18 is Steve Duff.
And the referee is Dave Bushell, assisted by Oscar Ayada and James Keane. They're out in the middle, just talking to Captain Woos, who is wearing number 5, dressed all in the MyFC purple, currently in the left half, just immediately in front of us, and they look to be staying as they are, so Slough will be playing slightly down the hill towards the open end, wearing their all-purple outfit. Jake dressed in bright yellow away to our left. AFC Hayes in blue and white stripes to our right, with keeper wearing tights and an orange kit, and he'll be shooting. They'll be shooting up the hill. But we're about to get underway for this essential. Again, all these games seem to be cup finals for the moment for Slough.
Yeah, this is a tough game. AFC Hayes are they're classed as a bogey team, but the main thing is as we're their closest rivals, they do like to put one over Slough. Always like to try and beat the big Slough Town team in their minds as it is. But we've had a good record here at Farm Park over the last few years, so hopefully that will continue today.
We're almost ready to get underway. The conditions here, the pitch is actually quite good. It's not too hard. It's got plenty of grass on it. There's patches of bareness. The sun is breaking through. Afternoon, Marcus. As Johnny Dyer and Ed Smith get us underway, immediately the ball goes back to a newly haircut to Ryan Parsons. He looks very young and baby-faced now, and immediately McClurg's through, flicks it out to right to Warren Harris. Warren Harris, right edge of the box, takes a touch to get it under control. Will cross the ball in, chips it towards the far post, but it's over everybody, and unfortunately out for a goal kick.
Yeah, great start for Slough there. Nice to see us attacking early from the kick-off.
Yes, so we have played less than a minute here. It is AFC 0, Slough Town 0. We're okay. We're all right. There's some people who are kind of there or thereabouts from being in our way. Good afternoon, gents. These latecomers. You missed a goal. No, you haven't really. We're doing well so far. So Slough have only made one change to their starting 11. Jake Parsons has come in for Dobbo, who obviously got a little bit in trouble the other day, had a few bookings, and George Short immediately wins a good header, but the ball's flicked through harmlessly to Layu, and the ball's rolled out quickly. He's not very keen to kick this keeper, and the left back, Crane, clears the ball long, and Mendy's interested up against Hollis, but Hollis takes a touch, but it doesn't go very far. Now George Short picks it up in field. Simple ball out left to Jake Parsons. Parsons takes a heavy touch on the pitch, and now coming away with it is Goff. Goff in the middle of midfield, halfway inside the Slough half. There's another orange ball on the pitch. It's booted off by Mendy. And Slough will have a throw in from Jake Parsons, Ryan Parsons, far left, to throws into Woozy, hooks it up the line with his wrong foot, flicked on by Ed Smith. Has Jake Parsons interested, but he's not that fast. He's a little bit heavier legged than that, isn't he? Yeah,
I think today's midfield battle between McClurg and George Short and Goff and Vincent for AFC Hayes is going to be quite interesting. Tony Mendy, ex-Slough player, used to come through the youth ranks at Slough. Prolific goal scorer at the youth ranks. He's an excellent player for this level. Played for them last year, scored like 19 goals, but you need to play a specific way to him. He needs the ball behind the back four for him to run onto and use his pace. If you play it to his feet, he's not the same player.
No, and I'm sure he'll be extra super motivated to play up against us today. as the ball's cleared out right, but Johnny Dyer will cut this off crossfield on his own D, clips it out left to Jake Parsons. Nice first touch. Immediately though shut down by AFC Hayes, out to his brother on left back. Nice pass down the line, finds McClurg. McClurg inside towards Jake Parsons, but it gives now Hayes the opportunity to break away quickly, and they immediately show their intention by a long ball aimed in the direction of Thomas. And Thomas up against Woos, far right hand edge of the box, nutmegs Woos, but Woos comes back wise to it. After a couple of superb games he's had, he tidies that up well, wins the goal kick for Slough, and gives us an opportunity for it. Bright start to the game.
Yes, indeed. It looks like quite an interesting game. Like you say, the pitch got a couple of bare spots on it on the side that Slough are defending nearest to us. But otherwise, it doesn't look too bad. I
think it's certainly a lot better than Barton and probably a lot better than Holloways as well. It seems like a pitch that you could hopefully get the ball down and play a little bit of football on.
And it's nice and flat, this one.
Yeah, it is. It is. It does seem. It's quite a low ground. There isn't a huge amount of standing. Just to our right, where we're stood out in the midst, is a small terrace as Parsons battles well midway inside the half. Passes the ball through to Eddie Smith, who's now broken on the left edge of the box. He's come back towards his own goal. Pass it short on the edge of the box. Looks to have a shot. Closed down well and early by AFC Hayes, but the ball ricochets out, and my co-commentator's in danger of losing his notes. They've blown away. Quick, go and get them aid. As ball flicked into the box, but headed well clear by McManus at the back and outright now. AFC Hayes deep in their own half will have the opportunity, but Parsons shuts down, closes it off. Jake Parsons started quite brightly as well. I think he's got plenty. He should be one with energy in his legs. How tiring do you think Thursday was for the boys that are playing 2 games in less than 48 hours?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be tiring for them, but a lot of players at this level prefer to play football rather than train, so they'll be up for this today.
Slough have an attacking throw deep in the far corner, which it looks like Parsons will take. Parsons stood over it, back to Jake Parsons, back to Ryan Parsons, far corner of the pitch. Infield to Jake Parsons on his right foot, tries to chip the ball but well shut down, and now Slough may be under a little bit of pressure from the break as Thomas picks it up in midfield on the centre spot, but George Short's there quickly to just put a bit of pressure on him, and Warren Harris then comes back well, picks his pocket, gives it ball to McClurg, advancing through, simple ball to Ed Smith, 20 yards out, turns, got in with close attention, keeps to the ball well, passes it out right to Fraser, driving towards the edge of the box, crosses the ball in fast, flicked on, but only as far as Jake Parsons, left-hand edge of the box, simple pass inside to Short, 20 yards out from the edge of the penalty box. Once again outside to Fraser. Slough starting well, but knocking the ball around. Fraser's cross is blocked, but it will fall back to him. George Short now has an opportunity. Low cross in, swinging left foot clearance, and Slough will now have an attacking throw down in the right-hand corner as we are. Yeah,
the defenders shanked that one out there. That's terrible. It's good play from Sean Fraser. Getting down the right here. He's got the ball again. Back
and now Warren Harris will cross a ball deep off to the far post, headed up in the air by the right back Walters, the captain, and Johnny Dyer's now in there. His ball still on the edge of the box, missed. Jake Parsons almost had an opportunity, but finally and airily cleared. But Sean Fraser's picked up the ball again, tries to knock a ball into the corner for Warren Harris to chase after, but across comes Crane, sees the ball out, and Slough have started brightly. They really need to make this pay.
Yeah, we've got a throw in now right by the corner flag. Sean Fraser's going over to take this. And there's no sign of Guy Hollis moving forwards at the moment.
I think that may be a tactic today because they are aware of the threat of AFC Hayes on the break, that they are just aware that they may need to keep the pace of Hollis back and not risk those long throws. As Mendy picks up the ball up against Hollis, it seems to be a man-on-man battle there as Mendy comes across in his bright yellow boots, but the ball's gone out of play and there'll be a throw in front of us by Crane, and the referee, Bushell, looking at us, waving at us, is just noticing exactly where that ball's taken. And now there's a good battle there, and it's a throw into Slough, near side. Game hasn't quite settled, but Slough seem to have had a couple of opportunities already.
No, but the AFC Hayes midfield and defence seem to have a clearance of just boot it long and boot it high.
Yeah, I think they're relying on the pace. They play an attacking formation. They play 3 up most of the time, so it's almost like a 4-3-3 as Mendy goes to get the throw, pass it back, but George Short wins it again, and once again the ball's agriculturally put out of play, and Fraser will pick this up with a throw, but it seems clear from the outset that Hollis's job today is Mendy. It seems that Woos is being kept free at all times. This is a little bit different if you watch it off the ball, but obviously they fancy Hollis against Mendy to keep an eye on him because he's an enigma, isn't he, Mendy?
He is indeed. He would, like I say, very prolific for the youth team, but when you watched him, he'd have 10 chances in the game, he'd score the harder ones and miss the easy open goals.
Yeah, and sometimes his motivation, I think, could occasionally be questioned, but he's the sort of player that sometimes makes it look like he's not doing anything and then he'll pop up and score 2 quick goals and really hurt you.
Well, yeah, I mean, he played a couple of games for Slough earlier in the season, and the first 2 that he played, he looked like he was uninterested unless he got the ball himself.
As George Short picks up the ball in midfield, long crossfield ball in the direction of Warren Harris, but overcomplicated at this stage. There was a simpler ball onto Sean Fraser. He perhaps took the wrong choice there. As Slough have been slotting the ball well, they've been enjoying the surface, but it's a goal kick. And interestingly, the keeper isn't taking them, which is very, very unusual at this high standard, I would say. The goalkeeper himself isn't taking them, so Lafouille is not taking his own kicks.
Yes, his bright orange outfit of an orange top, black tights and lovely orange socks is affecting his kicking skills, obviously, there.
As Goff picks up the ball and plays a great ball through, which Summers has to be alert to, tries to jump, tries to come out, and it wasn't altogether clean as he came out as Thomas advanced, and amongst a little scramble in the box, he caught it, and Somerville now a long clearance towards Johnny Dyer. Johnny Dyer flicks it back inside to Warren Harris, who goes into the box, he's through, it's 1-0 Slough!
Lovely play there by Slough. And long ball forwards, and centre back for AFC Hayes. I think it was Chris Good is the one that's mistimed that, and he's allowed Ed Smith to get through. A little flick into the path of Warren Harris. He's held off the defender, and the goalkeeper was static there, and he's just kind of toe poked that really into the top corner, and the goalkeeper didn't move at all.
A lot of credit must, I think, there go to to Somerville, who did a very accurate kick just as he was asked to, and a great assist from Johnny Dyer, who flicked into Warren Harris's path. He broke into the box. The keeper was stuck on his line, and Warren Harris just volleyed the ball to the left, unspectacularly, but clinically in between the posts, and it now is AFC Hayes 0, Slough Town 1. We've played 9 minutes here at Farm Park, and that is great. Now, hopefully, Slough will go on and capitalise this. The clouds are just coming in a little bit. We're a bit concerned from our weather position, but we have 2 umbrellas and all of MyFC's equipment, so we're not too concerned. As it looked like that was just a little shove of Johnny Dyer off the ball as he went down, but there's plenty of Slough faithful that have made the short journey across into West London.
Yes, it's the closest journeys for us, one of these today, but the traffic down the A40 unfortunately was quite bad.
So Warren Harris again picks up the ball. Warren Harris picks up the ball, he's driving forward, plenty of options, passes it out right to Fraser. Fraser 10 yards from the edge of the box, simple ball outside him to Ed Smith. Ed Smith, edge of the box, crosses it across, fizzes it across, but off everybody, and it appealing for a corner. This will be the first corner of the game as Slough are dominant here.
Yeah, I didn't see that taking a touch myself, but the referee has obviously decided it's come off an AFC Hayes player for a corner. Their players aren't too happy about that decision.
And today on corners it looks like Parsons is having them. Woos and Short are going forward, but clinically Hollis is staying home. AFC Hayes choosing to leave 3 players up, all their 3 attacking players of Mendy, Thomas and Rebel is all doing. As the corner's overhit towards the far side, Woos will come and retrieve it on the far corner with his left foot. He's shutting down by Crane, but tries to cross it, but it's blocked, and I think this will go out for a second corner. But no, Crane heads it inside, and Harris is now being buffeted by the rather rotund figure in the midfield of. A
great challenge there from Sean Fraser. The ball was cleared out by AFC Hayes, going to one of their free strikers that they've let up, and he's won a really good header there. If he'd missed that, I think AFC Hayes would have had a great chance to have a go and goal. So yeah, for any late joiners here, Slough have taken an early lead in the 8th minute. Long free kick. A long kick, very accurate from Somerville, flicked on well by Johnny Dyer, and Warren Harris couldn't have done anything other than score and finished it well. So Slough take an early lead, but Slough dominant. They need to, I think, make this press and get a second goal, because I don't think Hayes are ever a beaten side. No, the number 10 for Hayes, Romain Thomas, is seeing a lot of the ball, but he seems to be being marked by right back Sean Fraser at the moment. And I think. I think sometimes from games that I've seen earlier this season, we were down here on Tuesday with the management team watching against Barton, obviously, who we beat 2-1. Barton won 2-0 here on Tuesday night. And Thomas saw an awful lot of the ball, but unfortunately didn't have that much end product on the edge of it. He was very tricky, very skillful, but seemed to keep the ball a little bit too long for some of his teammates' liking, should we say. Yeah, you can definitely see there's a lot of pace up front for the AFC Hayes team here, and the back 4 of Slough are not venturing forwards at all. No. Maybe that's a good tactic to stop the runs of Fraser and Parsons down the flanks. Yes, because at the moment there's 6 players back in the Slough half. A Slough attack down the far left-hand side between Parsons and Dyer, and it's almost 3-on-3. You've got the 3 AFC Hayes players almost playing man-on-man against Woos,
Hollis and Fraser at the back. As the throw goes in, Johnny Dyer tries an acrobatic kick to cross the ball, misses, and it will roll harmlessly out for a goal kick, which once again the keeper's not interested in, and it looks like Good's going to have a lot of miles doing. It'll be interesting to see how the Slough forwards react to this, because you don't often play against it at this level. Will as normal they follow the line all the way back? Ed Smith and Johnny Dyer seem to be. I'd be tempted to push on a little bit towards the edge of the box. Then if Slough win the header back, oh yeah, Johnny, as I say that, Ed Smith is doing just what I say. He's walking towards the edge of the D. So if the ball comes back, he won't be offside because Good does it. But the header won well by George Short, and then quite an awkward fall from Jake Parsons in front of the AFC dugout on the far side, just inside their own half, and it will be a throw in to Hayes.
Yes, taking it long down again to number 10, Thomas. It's come out to AFC Hayes in the midfield, and they're spreading it too wide to the left.
To Crane, and Crane, the left back, likes to get forward. Harris tracks him, but there's a ball through. It wasn't well thought through. Fraser guides it out safely for a goal kick, and that's the danger averted. But the good thing is, I think, about this sort of team is they like to play football. Hayes like to get the ball down and try and play, put it in the spaces behind. So I certainly think that may open playing 3 up and being so attacking. I think Slough will enjoy the space it creates. Yeah,
definitely, it is going to leave some gaps, but the AFC Hayes team doesn't seem to have much leadership out there. They're a young team. They're all fairly youthful looking, but there's not a lot of encouragement from either of the players on their team.
As this ball's going to be yours, I think, if you're not careful. Oh no, it's out harmlessly for a throw, and just towards us. Fraser will take it, thrown up the line into Ed Smith, but over Ed Smith. Johnny Dyer's now underneath it, heads it in the direction of Warren Harris outright, hooks it left into the box, but AFC Hayes will bring the ball away and will look to get the ball forward early, I think, with Mendy on his bike, but Warren Harris tracking back well, using his physical strength. Excellent play by Harris once again.
Excellent play by Warren Harris there. George Short's got it now to Fraser on the right wing. And that's blocked by Vincent, and it's out for a Slough throw-in.
Yeah, Vincent and Goff are trying to get themselves out there, but they seem to be just slacking slightly, and the referee is very pernickety about exactly where the kicks are taken. Good afternoon to anybody just joining us. If you want to contact us, we're here all afternoon. Contact us at MyFC Rebels Radio. Ask us questions, give us feedback or other scores. As the ball's played into the box there by Fraser, and it's bobbling around, come out to McClurg, but well won there. And a long ball, and now it's a foot race, but the ball's going to be struck too long, and Somerville will pick it up quite carefully and quite calmly, but it certainly had Thomas and Mendy interested, that ball, and Woos was there. There's some shouting going on, and some rather unpleasant shouting, I think.
I think we could describe that as colourful language there from AFC Hayes, trying to get their defence organised.
And was that good? The tall, lanky number 5 who...
it was indeed, yeah.
Yes, I think they were thinking of having Bailey in there, but I think he must have failed a fitness test. As the ball's crossed him from the right by Warren Harris, comes out to the edge of the box, and now it will fall to Rabes. Rabes picks the ball, tries to beat 2 players, still got the ball at his feet. Fast by Parsons, and now McClurg plays a great ball through in the direction of Johnny Dyer. The keeper's quite fast off his line, picks it up well, and that's the first bit of positive keeping we've seen from Laffoul, really.
Yeah, Laffoul by nature, maybe Laffoul by name, I believe.
Oh, and he's kicked it out of the hands, and that's probably why he doesn't kick it, because it's gone straight to Warren Harris, and now Warren Harris has headed it, and Jake Parsons is interested. Jake Parsons is running, trying to keep the ball in. Sadly, the ball beats him, and it's out on the far side. There's a good splattering of Rebels fans made their way. There's the flag behind the goal as the ball goes cross-field, and Warren Harris once again causing a nuisance of himself, but the ball's cleared long and high, and John Underwood's underneath it, and quickly returns the ball to Ryan Parsons on the far side, bang on halfway. We have played about 16 minutes here at Farm Park. It is AFC Hayes 0, Slough Town 1. Warren Harris a good goal after 8 minutes, and George Short just got done for handball. The ball bounced up and hit his hand. He didn't move the ball to it, but there's a free kick
just inside the AFC Hayes half there. Nothing he could do. Couldn't move his hand around, but it stopped the ball going forward. So correct decision by the referee there today.
And it's not the warmest of days.
It's not the warmest of days, but AFC Hayes aren't exactly throwing many people up for this this free kick here. They've got the 2 strikers, 2 then on the right, and then the left back is now just coming up.
And the ball's driven long straight down the line, harmlessly out for a okay. And there's plenty of shouting. Mendy's telling where they want the ball. They seem a little bit less than happy with each other. They, as you say, I think they lack a little bit of leadership out there at the moment. There's some good quality players, and Johnny Dyer's calling for the ball, but also Ed Smith's come across to the near side to the right. They're spreading them far and wide, and this is almost where Slough are looking like they're playing 4-3-3, with Jake Parsons tucking a little bit to support Short and McClurg in the centre, and then Harris playing up off the front two. It's in Ed Smith's direction, but Crane jumps well over him. But George Short gets the second ball, passes the ball infield in the direction of Smith, but it's cleared long and high, and Woos will be underneath this. Woos heads it in the direction of Parsons. Parsons heads it very well back to Somerville, and very cool defending. Slough seem on it from the off today, don't they?
They do indeed. That's some great defending there by Ryan Parsons. And if Slough get another goal now, I can see the heads of the AFC Hayes players.
As Warren Harris drives into the box, cuts inside Crane, tries to cross the ball, and it's a goal kick as the ball rebounded off Harris last. That was good closing down by Vincent, working hard. He's going to put some miles in today, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he looks a very tenacious, I believe would be the ideal word to describe him as a player.
Is he like another McClurg? Is he a bit of a Rottweiler in there? A bit of a.
Well, he's a little bit shorter than McClurg.
I don't think it's possible. Is it? The ref's even possibly shorter than McClurg here in his outfit. But this actually feels a bit more spring-like as the ball's coming in our direction from the kick off the floor, and as you may have heard, it hit the stand just near us. But that was once again poor old Good having to go back and do all the kicking, and that kick didn't live up to his name. As Johnny Dyer just slips on the pitch as a ball played through by Fraser doesn't quite find its man. Slough have slightly taken their foot off the gas, I would say, after this. Had once again kick from LaFool, flicked on well, and the bounce evades Woosley, and now Thomas has the chance to attack midway inside the Slough half, beats one player, but McClurg battling back well, comes in and wins the ball, and then George Short comes and beats it, and the pantomime villain of the piece is our old favourite Tony Mendy, who's in a sandwich between the large George Short, he looks even bigger in that purple kit, and Guy Hollis. So there's a danger here to Slough. There's a free kick dead centre of the pitch. I would say it's no more than 6 or 7 yards outside the 18-yard box. 25 yards out, do you say? Yeah,
it's about 25 yards out, but I think the referee's given that free kick just because Mendy's actually screamed for the free kick. I don't think he actually got touched. He'd lost the ball, and we were going to come away with that ball, but it's Mendy and Goff standing over this one.
Yeah, Mendy and Goff standing over it. I think it will be Mendy if I'm honest. As the Slough wall just gets marched 1 yard back inside the penalty area. It's a wide wall of 6 players plus one intermingling AFC Hayes player, and this will be interesting to see what the testing does. And Mendy stepping up, right-footed hook, well palmed away by Jake Parsons to his left, and it's going to be a corner. But that was the first shot on target, for the first threat, and Somerville was very equal to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good free kick by Mendy there, but it was the ideal height for Jake to just push that one away. If that had been near the top corner, that would have been a lot more dangerous.
Corner, outswinger, brought in, headed terribly by Vincent, back in the direction it came, and the referee signals for another ball, please.
It's that bad a header, John. He's actually headed it out of the ground and into the woods behind that goal. Yeah. I don't think you're going to get that ball back.
But he headed it in the direction almost of which it came. He didn't even head it in the direction of the goal.
I think it's to do with his dyed blonde bouffant haircut.
Or it's either that or he's got a 50p head. I'm not quite sure which. We'll see more in the game. Let's see how things are going to progress now as the ball breaks through, and once again AFC Hayes goes slightly agricultural, and Woos and Hollis are underneath it, with Mendy causing a mischief of himself, but Hollis steps in well, cuts the ball out, and they're immediately obviously focused really on Mendy. They've obviously been told by the management team to keep him under tight wraps. Yeah, long clearance comes out.
Well, Crane takes a touch. Part of that management team will know all about Tony Mendy from the youth team setup.
Yes. Yeah, and I think they've seen enough of him and been hurt both seen him play, but also against him. As now Goff comes forward, plays the ball in the direction of Mendy, but Woos is screaming at the defence to get them up and not play quite so deep. Johnny Dyer challenges for a header. Crane has it, but now Johnny Dyer making himself a nuisance, and Crane hooks the ball forward and long, and there's a referee's assistant puts his flag up, and it will be a little bit of relief there because there was just a small amount of pressure coming from Hayes then.
Yeah, it's good pressure from AFC Hayes there. You can see their tactics is playing up to the free strikers, with Mendy being the top of the corner of that, so like the free being the two wingers of 10 and 11, which is Thomas and Rabis.
As the ball's fired into the box, and Johnny Dyer then seemed to get sandwiched, and nothing doing there as George Short clips the ball into the area, but hooked away by the ever-present Good in the back there. And now ball with Thomas on the halfway line, and McClurg and Fraser in attendance. Well done by Fraser there. Apologies for saying that obviously Parsons saved that ball a minute from the free kick. It was certainly not Parsons who saved the free kick, otherwise that would have been a penalty.
And offside there.
Thomas just got caught offside, but no, it was certainly Somerville who saved it, so there was no penalties going on there. And Somerville conceded that corner. Slough just need to kind of raise it. They're trying to play the tempo quite quick, and Somerville quick kick taken out in the direction of Warren Harris. Overhit though, and it'll go behind into the Rebels' arms behind those goals, and it'll be a goal kick. We have played 22 minutes here. It remains AFC Hayes 0. Slough Town 1 with a good finish from Warren Harris. Great kick from Jake Somerville, flicked on by a flick that doesn't always come off from Johnny Dyer, came off. Warren Harris found himself in space, ball bounced up nicely, and he volleyed it past the helpless keeper to make it 1-0.
Good with the goal kick there, and that's he's actually got it near the halfway line. George Short's headed the one out, so it's a throw on from Hayes just on the halfway line. Left back trying to take an extra 10 yards there, but he was right in the right position.
And now McClurg's having a fight with the referee, and McClurg's having some interest there. Crane throws the ball up the line. Hollis underneath it. It's going to come bounce very close to us. And Crane quickly runs up, ginger haired, throws the ball back, but it's 5 yards inside his own half, hooks the ball down into the corner, which has Smith interested, and Smith with his great pace up against Good. Good doesn't seem that comfortable on the ball, just did the simple thing and put the ball out wide, out for a throw, an attacking throw to Slough. I think that was Warren Harris's 4th in 4 games. If I remember correctly, I think he's
be 5 in 5. I believe that would make it now.
Oh, was it? Okay. No, sorry. I think he had 3 in 3 before this. So I would think that's 4 in 4, but I'm not sure. It might be 5 in 5, but he's certainly proving his value here. He scored at a really good rate this season for someone who plays on the right wing, and I'm sure by the end of the season he'll be up over 20 goals. As AFC Hayes bring the ball away, Vincent on the ball in midfield passes the ball outright, but Ryan Parsons underneath it clears it only as far as Goff in centre field on the D, inside the Slough half. Simple ball outright to Mendy. Mendy back to Goff. Jake Parsons trying to close it down, and Goff's now turned. In a little bit of space, we'll look to chip the ball in. Guy Hollis stretches across, picks the ball up well, and Ryan Parsons helps out. Up to Jake Parsons, still inside his own half. The switch ball's on. The switch is unfortunately nearly made, and then Ricky Michelle, again, not with the greatest grace in the world, shins the ball off for a throw into Slough.
No, but Jake got the ball there, and his first thought was to beat the player and then get down the wing, and he beat him easily. And unfortunately, the ball was coming through. I think it was Warren Harris on the far side that would have received it, but defended wellish, we should say.
I think competently in the end. If that ball had come across all cross field, Warren Harris was in absolutely acres of space, and would have certainly probably put pay to it. As Ryan Parsons throws the ball up the line, Johnny Dyer battling underneath it. He likes a bit of a scrap. There's a little bit of afters after the ball there, as once again the ball is hooked clear by the centre-back pairing.
I wouldn't like to be a ball boy here at AFC Hayes. That's the ball's just gone out to the same place.
They're certainly keeping them busy.
2 times in 1 minute.
And now McClure's coming back. They've actually sent Guy Hollis forward, and Baker is quite animated on the far touchline, making sure that enough players are back to cover this. So McClurg's back, Fraser's back. AFC Hayes still, despite it being an attacking throw to Slough, which now fired in towards the edge of the box. Woosley wins it, but it bounces. Edge of the box, Warren Harris drives it through a crowd of players. Ed Smith picks it up 6 yards out, volleys it, blocked twice, and comes away. And now they'll have the opportunity to break away quickly. And now Slough need to work back as McClurg picks up the ball, clears it only as far as Short in the midfield. It's calmed down by Short. Short plays a nice ball through, but blocked off by Craig, and the Hayes players are screaming obscenities at each other. They're not very happy as the ball comes out to their right back, inside to Goff, just on the halfway line. Nice interplay, but in comes Warren Harris, who isn't taking any prisoners with that challenges, and smashes the ball off the AFC Hayes player to win the throw-in for Ryan Parsons.
Yeah, it's Mitch Goff, the number 8 for AFC Hayes, who's having quite an influence on this game. He's picking the loose balls up as AFC Hayes are knocking the ball over the top and Slough defending. He's the first player to the second ball.
And won there by his partner Vincent, and again it falls to Goff in midfield. Goff turning back inside himself, turns 2 or 3 times, chips the ball upfield, but George Short's there. George Short's got a little bit of time, ball bobbles up on him, but volleys it up. Completely missed. That was woeful defending by the Hayes defender, but now Smith and Johnny Dyer have some interplay, cut out well by Crane, and it will be a Slough corner on the far side.
Yes, more Neanderthal defending there. Crane's actually hit that out for a corner when he could have smacked that down to the side and given a throw in. He scuffed that one away. So corner for Slough, and it's Jake Parsons taking it.
And once again, they're keeping Slough keeping 4 players back, so less in the box than there might be sometimes. But the towering figures of both Short and Woosley, edge of the box. Warren Harris sitting edge of the box. Ed Dyer and Johnny Dyer running. Ed Smith, Johnny Dyer running back. Ball clipped in towards Woos. George Short gets ahead on it, but it's going to go harmlessly out for a goal kick. Quite good enough, and it just slightly behind him. And now the keeper's once again thrown the ball to his centre-back Good, who's going to take the kick off the floor, right-footed, gives Slough the opportunity. If they win the header, they can quickly put pressure back on AFC Hayes. I think it's an odd decision at this level to not have your keeper taking kicks.
I don't think the keeper's actually a proper keeper by the looks of him. He's done nothing at all in the game at all.
Judging by how he played on Tuesday, I didn't want to curse him, but on Tuesday he was on Tuesday. Oh, that was nearly us. That was very close to us. Yeah. We nearly got hit there by the ball. But yeah, no, on Tuesday night he certainly didn't look anything like a keeper. He dived over the button fast goal of the free kick, and then he seemed very unsure as he was coming out. Technically, he doesn't seem a goalkeeper at all. As Warren Harris does well, wins the ball, put back for himself down the right, cuts it back, but that's a good battle like him against Crane. Passes it back to Johnny Dyer, right edge of the box, swings the ball across. Seemed to nearly catch the ball there, the centre back. I think it bobbled up on him, but it hit him in the midriff, the low midriff, and it almost bobbled up into his arms.
Yeah, I'd say that's more likely hit him in the nether regions there, and big appeal from the Slough fans here today, but never a penalty.
Ball in the edge of the box now. Johnny Dyer having a fight for it. Jake Parsons coming across to win the ball. Simple tries to play an overcomplicated ball through to Warren Harris, and now AFC Hayes will have the opportunity. Mendy now, first time face towards goal, up against Short, 10 yards inside the half, and passes a great ball through to try and cut out, but Parsons will come across, clear the ball away from Thomas, and concede the throw in line with the edge of the 18-yard box in the Slough half, far side. Quick throw taken into Rabes, left-footed cross, deep. There's no one there at all, and that will go through to Somerville. Somerville may roll it out to Fraser, but won't look at it. Looks to get rid of the ball quickly, I think. Once again, outright, Johnny Dyer underneath it, but beaten by Crane, who seems to be again everywhere. Short seems to be having a good early part of the game, and tackled hard there by McManus, and the ball's broken to Mendy, and Mendy now up against
great tackle
Hollis,
by Guy Hollis there.
Hollis following around like he wants to wear his underpants or something. I don't know what Hollis is having for breakfast, but he's certainly within sniffing distance at all times.
Yeah, definitely free shredded wheat for Hollis this morning. He's not letting Mendy get an inch of space.
And he's just letting the two centre midfielders know that he's not quite happy that he's come from such a deep position. And there was quite a blatant push in the back of Johnny Dyer there. And the referee's keeping his arms down by his side, which is difficult because he's quite short, you can tell. Flicked through by Johnny Dyer in the direction of Fraser. Fraser doesn't know where the sail going. Crane passes the ball up, but Fraser's strong again, picks up the ball, tries to chip it down the line, but only finds Crane. Back inside to McManus. McManus fires the ball through, but Short now playing Short, almost playing like a sweeper, an old-fashioned sweeper in front of the back four, isn't he?
Yeah, Slough are obviously concerned about the pace they've got, but on that last throw-in they had, right by the on the far side, opposite the penalty box, they only had 3 players up, so they're not that attacking.
As ball from Hollis cleared long, harmlessly out for a throw on the far side, deep inside the AFC Hayes half. We have played half an hour here at Farm Park. It's getting greyer and darker by the minute. We're hoping to avoid the rain, but Slough will still lead 1-0 from that Warren Harris goal on about 8 minutes, 8 to 9 minutes, as he volleyed it in following a great flick from Johnny Dyer. And since that point, Slough started, with extreme power and pace, and since that point they've just seemed to have taken their foot off it, and I think Hayes have come back into it, haven't they? Yeah,
I think the referee's trying to let the game flow. He's letting a lot of tiny little kicks and stuff go there, but it's the play today is very scrappy. AFC Hayes, as soon as they get it, it's a big boot forwards, and Slough trying to play it through the wide bits, but AFC Hayes, although it's crude defending, it's currently working.
And in terms of other games, other games in this division that we're expecting to potentially affect the playoffs, there isn't too many that I think are looking like they may be upsets, from at least on paper anyway. And we know, I believe, that Daventry are 1-0 up. Barton Rovers are 0-0 still after 20 minutes in their game against our opponents for next week, Ashford. So we seem to be following Barton at the moment. Barton were here on Tuesday, we're here Saturday. Barton are at Ashford today as a long ball goes through in the direction down the left-hand channel for Rabes to chase after, and Hollis is up against Rabes in the far left corner, and Hollis is just standing up, back to Crane. Crane will have the opportunity to cross it in low to the edge of the box, chested in by Vince. Vincent runs the ball out of play. Looked quite a physical challenge, that one by Hollis initially.
Yeah, I could see a lot of referees giving that as a free kick there. Guy Hollis was quite lucky, but it's interesting to see that number 11 Rabis is slowly getting more into this game down its left-hand side.
And they certainly aren't mugs, are they? They certainly look dangerous, look threatening, and I think Slough could well do if they have ambitions of going on and winning this game comfortably. I think they need to score earlier rather than later. As the goal kick from Somerville comes out to the right, and then won by Michelle and onto the top of the roof and out the ground. They must do an awful trade in lost balls hit round here, mustn't they?
I need to open a sports shop just down the road. I think I'd make a fortune.
Waiting for another ball to come as Thomas just tries to G the troops up for AFC Hayes on the halfway line as Fraser throws the ball long in the direction of Johnny Dyer. Seemed to get absolutely shoved in the back there by Michelle. That's not the first time, but that was actually blatant. And Johnny Dyer's now down because I think Michelle landed on his Achilles, and that will have them worried on the Slough bench. Kev's poised on the halfway line to come on to treat him. The referee's just saying not just yet. Both managers stood poised, watching to see if anything's needed at this stage. But Johnny Dyer's still down on all fours on his front. Now he's almost like a bridge shaped, as he's just holding his right calf. As I think that's where the centre back landed on him.
Yeah, I think it was just his forward leg as he jumped up's caught him there, but it was a definite push anyway. So, and he's getting a talking to from the referee, but the referee just lets it go. They pat each other on the back, and Slough have a free kick on the right-hand side, about 10 yards outside the penalty box. And
Jake Parsons, right-footed, is lining this up. Woosley's gone forward. Once again, AFC Hayes leave 3 players up. Slough aware of that as Parsons drifts one into the far post, but it's over everybody. And then the actual perpetrator of the foul, Michelle, will get the ball, pass it up the line in the direction of Vincent. Vincent, heavy first touch, and who comes across but McClurg? Excellent challenge. Prevents any quick getaways there, and Slough reorganise and make their shape back. The referee very pernickety about where these throw-ons are taking. I'm not sure it really matters quite as much as he's making out. Just pushes back the right back Walters to make sure he's taking it from the right location. Jake Parsons wins the ball on halfway, tries to cut inside but blocked off by 2 players, and now the captain will pass the ball simply, and Fraser's underneath it. It's come all the way across to Thomas. Flick through, now Woos is after it, and there's 2 or 3 players. Mendy hooks the ball harmlessly and hopelessly wide, and the left back is screaming for a corner despite the fact that he's 70 yards away. I'm not sure whether he's got ginger vision or something like that, but it may be different in there because Mendy clearly shinned the ball up in the air and out harmlessly for a goal kick.
It's good play by James Walters, the AFC captain there. He won the ball on the right-hand side, and he's charged through the middle and created the space, and Slough have backed off, and the ball over the top was thankfully for Slough not in a dangerous position as Jake Somerville takes the goal kick. It's long to Johnny Dyer but won by Good.
Short wins the second header, flicked on by Warren Harris, flicks on, and now Ed Smith might have an opportunity. Left foot volley, blocked almost instantly by Michelle, who's right on top of him, and Slough now just have a bit more purpose. The fans start to make a little bit of noise. They're a little bit quiet at the moment, a little bit subdued. Throws the ball back to his brother Ryan, edge of the box, back to Jake. Jake Parsons now tries to beat his man, left-footed, seems to get clipped, and it's a goal kick. He's not very happy. He's just having a little shout of displeasure at the referee. Once again, Good is going to take the goal kick. And
he might keep this one on the pitch this time, John, because he's taking it on the far right-hand side.
Yeah, I still think we might be in danger, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that is. Long kick out to the right, and clear push there by
Mendy on Ryan Parsons. Pushed him in the back,
and then thinks he can get away with it. But obviously, the referee is watching quite intently exactly what is going on there, and it's a free kick to Slough on halfway, right on the far side, and we have played 35 minutes here at Farm Park. Slough lead 1-0 due to Warren Harris' goal after the 8 minutes. From that point, there hasn't really been much goal out action. A good free kick from Mendy, saved well by Somerville down to his left. Short wins the second ball, hooks the ball up in the air, and Warren Harris underneath it with Crane. Crane comes off second best, and now they're once again battling down the right, and Harris clatters into McManus and blocks the ball out, and it'll go out for a goal kick, which once again Goods getting certainly his money worth trying to take these kicks all afternoon, isn't he? I
don't know how much the keeper's getting paid, but if he's being paid by the minute, it's a great rate to be on. But if it's being paid by anything he's doing, that's like a £20 an hour easily.
Short up underneath that one, flicks it on, headed on in the direction of Ed Smith by Johnny Dyer, pass to Ryan Parsons in the centre of the half. Good return ball to Johnny Dyer, into the box, deep into the box, stands up, but the ball just beats the pair of them and it goes out for a goal kick, but that was better interplay by Slough.
Yeah, I think Johnny Dyer was waiting for the challenge to come in from the number 5 Good there, and he hesitated there, and it's allowed the ball to roll out, and Good's going to take yet another goal kick.
So welcome to you wherever you are listening to us today. After this, Slough have got out a trip to another away game next Saturday away to Ashford, so not too far again for the Rebels faithful to get after them, and then a home game against Rugby on the Saturday of the Easter weekend. Following that, they then travel to their final away game against Aylesbury, Steve Bateman's team now in Aylesbury on the Easter Monday, before their final league game against Chertsey. And who knows how important that's going to be. If results keep going, if Slough keep on picking up 3 points, they could really certainly, and another couple of teams are due to play each other. There's some other interesting fixtures coming up. It could be that teams take some points off each other, and Slough could be pushing for a high playoff position, let's hope.
Yeah, Aylesbury are 10 games unbeaten at the moment, and they've got to play 3 of the top 4, including us as well, so they're going to have a big say in the playoff games and the title. They've got away to Kettering today, home to Barton on the 12th, away to Dunstable on the 19th, and then home to Slough, so they're going to have a big say in that, and it could well be that Steve Bateman spent 4 years trying to get Slough promoted, could help us by beating our opposition. Yeah,
and also the opposition today have had a say in it. They obviously played and lost to Barton the other day. Today they're playing Slough. They've also got to play Rugby and Kettering and Daventry as Warren Harris has the ball right edge of the box with Crane in close attention, looks to chip the ball across the far post. Jake Parsons has it, edge of the box, passes it down to Ed Smith. Ed Smith, left and edge of the box, drives the ball with a left-footed cross shot, and it's wide when I think Johnny Dyer was screaming for the ball across goal. Ed Smith chose to shoot, left-footed shot, went wide of the left upright, but again, Slough probing here.
Yeah, hold on a minute there, John. The goalkeeper's actually going to do something. He's gone and collected the ball.
I must say at this point, I believe he's a champion kickboxer, so let's be polite to him, who's won his money and made a living from being a professional kickboxer. So I'm just not going to insult him just as yet.
You'd think he'd learn how to kick.
Just not going to say that, but believe me, that was Adrian who said that. That was Adrian who said that, by the way. Not that we're so much as the game's got a little bit scrappier now. As AFC Hayes have come back into it, McManus, the rather large figure in midfield, cultured on the ball. They passes it out right back to his captain Walters. Walters, nice ball through, but Ryan Parsons picks it up, hooks it to Johnny Dyer on centre field. Johnny Dyer outright to the advancing Fraser, who's got plenty of space and time to advance, and Craig going to come and meet him. Crossfield ball, but not well executed. And now AFC Hayes have the opportunity to strike a long ball through. Now it's Hollis up against Mendes.
And Hollis well there with a header back to Jake Somerville.
Hollis once again showing his class, opens his leg, shows his class, but easily accelerates, wins that ball, and now the ball's thrown out over arm by Somerville. Why do I keep thinking Parsons is in goal today?
I don't know.
Perhaps it's because
the haircut, isn't it?
It is. It's confusing me. And Somerville looking larger than life in his all yellow outfit, looking like a bit of a canary. Now Hollis is taking the long throw up in the direction of Ed Smith. Ed Smith beaten to it, and the ball rebounds on halfway towards Thomas, but Jake Parsons cuts in, flicks the ball out left to his brother Ryan. Ryan now back inside to Jake. Jake outside of the boot, down into the corner. Johnny Dyer's interested. Johnny Dyer's going to have a look at it. He's going to try and keep it in, but the ball's out. And
it's out for a throw in there.
We to what is the last 5 minutes of the first half in normal time. Slough still lead 1-0. I think they're good value for their lead so far, wouldn't you say, Adrian?
They are indeed good value, but at the moment it looks like Slough are playing a 5-5 formation with the back 4 and George sitting at the back and not getting forwards, and then the 3 midfielders and 2 strikers being a lot further up, and there's a big gap in that centre of midfield in between George short holding and Jamie McClurg playing like the diamond role.
No, I'm not just redundant, it's just Adrian's talking an awful lot. Daventry 2, St Ives 0 is the latest score, and Sycob 2, Uxbridge 0. As
it's Walters the right back, bringing the ball up. He's run all the way across.
Passes all the way to Crane. Crane inside to McManus, but Warren Harris isn't having any of that. George Short tries to have a touch, and now Fraser's in on the ball. But once again, the skipper's come forward a long, long way. Has a toe poke shot, which is drifting along the floor. And Woosley isn't very happy. He's barking some orders, as a captain should, just to say, "Come on, let's wind this up. We've got 5 minutes this half. Let's go in. Make sure we consolidate this 1-goal lead. If possible, let's nab a second." Somerville's rolled the ball out.
Yes, the AFC Hayes left back Charlie Crane is seems to have what's called a short man syndrome. He's calling for free kicks and fouls when AFC Hayes are through on goal. So he's an angry little man.
George Short does well to control the ball in midfield, pass it out to Ryan Parsons, and Mendy comes across, nicks the ball off him. It's out of play for a throw, and on the far side, midway inside the AFC Hayes half, we're creeping towards half-time here. The referee, once again, Mr. Bushell, being very pedantic about exactly where that throw is taken. Ball thrown down the line, brother to brother. They seem to love to do that. Apparently they do it in training all the time too. They're like the Chuckle brothers, just pass to one another. Ball back to George Short in midfield. To Parsons. Parsons trying to cut it through to Warren Harris, but then gets a good foot in to McClurg. McClurg to Warren Harris. Inside the edge of the box, turns, swivels, right-footed shot, blocked, cleared long by Good. Woos beats Mendy to the ball and hooked on by Jake Parsons. Johnny Dyer underneath it and keeps the ball, but the ball's gone harmlessly out, and once again that's off Crane, so it'll be a throw into Slough. Slough pushing and just upping the tempo slightly towards the end of this half. Yeah,
Fraser going over to take the throw on, just level with the AFC Hayes penalty box.
Yeah, you can put some more rubbish in there. Fowler's just enjoyed his burger. I'm not sure this is the right sort of food to have, as I can see. The uglier of the Harris brothers also tucking into a burger. Actually, I better not say that. He might come over and punch me. He's got hard, but yeah. But yeah, Ben needs to put some on. He's going to have a few burgers, I think, as the ball's breaking clear from the edge of the AFC Hayes box. Mendy on halfway, up against Parsons. Tries to hook it over him and then shoves him in the back as he does. And then Thomas is about 3 yards offside. Doesn't quite agree with that. But it was interesting that he didn't give a free kick there. I thought there was quite a big shove in the back as Mendy tried to hook it over Parsons. They gave a good old shove to say thanks, but no
Mendy
thanks.
Booted the ball high up in the air, pushed Ryan Parsons out of the way, trying to get to his own little flick on there. And the referee's letting these little tiny things go. But
you just hope one of them doesn't creep back and make a difference somewhere. As we go, Kettering 1, Aylesbury 0. So that's not necessarily going with our favour as well. Bateman not doing us any favours at the moment. As we approach half-time here, Kettering 1, Aylesbury 0 is the latest score. As the ball's breaking down, and Sean Fraser once again in like a man possessed, tries to clip the ball into George Short. George Short, immediate ball down the line, out of harm's way, and all the Slough faithful are going to make their way for a burger or bite to eat as the ball's got with Johnny Dyer edge of the box, clips it out to Sean Fraser, who seems to have had one of his more attacking games for Slough, tries to cross the ball in, blocked though, but now it comes to Jake Parsons, gets beaten on the ball there by Goff, and Goff has passed it out to Waters. Ball into Mendy's feet, but taken off him by Thomas, and now Thomas has got Woo's backtracking, but George Short comes and picks his pocket. Excellent. This is one of the
sneaked behind and picked his pocket.
This is one of the best halves of football I've seen from George Short, I think, this season. I think he's making a real difference in there. I think he's suited to this game perfectly and doing very well. But now Goff in Acres, just inside his own half, on the right hand side, cuts back from McClurg, passes a simple ball back to Good. Good now. Looking and long,
there's loads of space on our left-hand side here. Well, left-hand side for Hayes, and they're not picking it out.
A crossfield ball by Jake Parsons in the direction of Harris, and Harris now up against Crane, and Harris is giving a good old shove. And just plenty of physicality in there. But now breaks to Fraser just inside his own half. Clips the ball down into the corner. Fred Smith to get after. Crane's lost it, and Ed Smith picks it up well. Far right-hand corner. Slough will have an opportunity to try and get the ball into the box in this last minute. Smith dummies the ball well to Fraser's overlap and keeps the ball. Pass it inside the box to Harris. Harris chips the ball across the back stick, keeper's underneath it, gets hold of it, and I think that will almost be that. The referee's not looking at his whistle yet, but the trainer hasn't been on in this first half, and the keeper's avoided kicking it out there by rolling it out to the right back and Captain Walters, but he's got McClurg in attention, and McClurg and him are having a right old scrap to get that ball. He seemed to get fouled 2 or 3 times. Walters isn't very happy about that. He's not giving the ball back. Clerg's sitting on his bum. Just playing with his shin pads, and we are almost at half-time. On half-time, we'll let those of you who may not have heard it yet listen to the interview with both joint managers, literally hours, so it's quite a rough, raw reaction to the critical win against Barton on Thursday, and it will give me and Adrian a break. And as Parsons steps up to deliver this ball into the box, George Short almost on it, but cleared well by Michelle. And Ed and Johnny try and combine, but now AFC Hayes may have the opportunity to break as there's a long ball through, but Somerville comes outside his box, passes it out, but it's only as far as McManus, but McClurg's trying to stop him, as is Harris. Ball back now on halfway. Crane out left to Fraser, up against Mendy, and Mendy's now going backwards towards his own goal. He's loving doing a step over or two, but he's getting him absolute bugger all.
It's nice to see him running away from the goal, and that's where we want him running.
And Parsons, with his newly shorn locks, heads the ball out, and that is half time here at Farm Park. Quite a good half for Slough. They started at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Warren Harris rightly gave them the lead, and from there the game's gone a little bit flat. They've taken off, so I think they'll get a bit of energy put in them, shall we say, by the managers at half time.
Yeah, I think Slough today are really missing the presence of Lee Rumbold in midfield. It's hard work and energy is the one thing that's lacking. There's a massive gap between George Short and Jamie McClurg, and at one stage in that last bit, all 4 AFC Hayes midfielders were in that gap, but they couldn't do anything with it. But
and as the local tannoy comes in, we'll send you over and put you on the interview, and we'll come back to you shortly. Enjoy this interview. Good evening and welcome to Rebels Radio post-match interview. Today I'm lucky enough to be joined by 2 buzzing Slough Town managers. How do you feel, boys?
Buzzing.
Yeah, delighted.
Yeah, great win for us tonight. It was it was our biggest game of the season. It was the most important one, and I thought the lads were fantastic tonight. I thought we had problems getting up there. We had players turning up about 7:15, and we started brilliant. And I thought we thoroughly deserved to win the game. I thought the lads every single one of them was fantastic.
So you talk about players turning up late for the game. I hear some of them were on the hard shoulder of the M25 when it joined the M1, wheels falling off cars. It sounded like a comedy of errors.
Yeah, we had, I think Jake and Ryan ended up on the hard shoulder, and fortunately Jamie McClurg and Johnny Dyer were not far behind them, so ended up having to help them get their wheel back on and move it just off the motorway, and then for them to come. So yeah, I mean, as John said, I think we had players turn up at 7:15. We had to do the team talk on the pitch, and sometimes it works in your favour because it's less time to think about the game, and you as managers you sometimes worry how they're going to start, but the boys were absolutely top draw today. Starting 11 was always going to be the starting 11 that you picked?
We changed our mind a couple of times during the week. It's difficult. We've got a good squad of players. There's people that are on the bench that don't want to be on the bench, but we kind of looked at the Thursday, Saturday, but and you try and plan ahead. But to be honest, the most important game was tonight, and we watched Hayes against Barton on Tuesday, and we just got our heads around the way that the 2 teams play, and we just thought it was the right way to go tonight, and we'll have to see how we are for Saturday. It'd be very hard to change anything from the team tonight because everybody was fantastic, but we have to see how people's legs are and a few knocks, and we'll probably make a call on that on Saturday morning, to be honest.
And how were you pleased with the start of the game? Quite high tempo. Some of the recent games you've had different forms, some conceding, some scoring early. This game seemed to start quite well, a few chances, testing Forster.
Yeah, we the first I think we had 3 shots in the first 4 minutes, and 2 of them probably hit the corner flags, to be fair. But we were excellent. We started really tempo was really high, and we looked a good side. We were obviously going up the slope, which is quite tough. So we're defending the slope, but we dealt with everything really well. I felt we completely dominated the first half, but I felt we were firmly in control, and we were breaking at pace, and we're getting 3, 4, 5 runners going forward, and some of the football going forward was absolutely superb. It was just the final third; it just didn't quite happen for us first half, and you come in and we praise them big time at half time, but we just said obviously we've got to put the ball in the back of the net, and fortunately we did that second half. Great start to the second half again. Seemed to have the knack of it recently. Strong performances immediately after the half-time whistle and the team talk. So obviously you're doing something right, putting something in their tea.
Well, to be fair, we just had to keep that passion and desire we had the first half, and yeah, we started the second just like we did the first. I mean, Johnny had Sean put in a great cross, and Johnny missed a chance that by his standards, Johnny's brilliant in the air, and he missed that header, and then Eddie had a chance that he missed, and we started to wonder it wasn't going to be our day, and in fact the goal that we got to take the lead was a miss hit, really, a scuff from Johnny, but I think at that point I think we deserved to take the lead. I think we were the ones creating good chances, and yeah, I thought we thoroughly deserved to go in front, and but then they scored a wonder goal not long after, must have been about 10 minutes after, I guess, when they got a wonder goal from Luke Knight, great strike, and that made it a very difficult 10 or 15 minutes. You know, we had a couple of kind of incidents.
James incident.
We just the game got very scrappy, very heated, became a real battle, and I think both teams lost a little bit of control at that point, and luckily it wasn't too long before we went in front. I mean, Eddie scored a fantastic goal, and I think that just settled us down again, and it was a really crucial time to score, and we went on from there.
Were you worried again in a similar situation to the Daventry game away that you started to defend a little bit deeper, started to absorb a little bit more pressure after the frantic 5 minutes when, as you say, Dobson was involved in a couple of incidents, one of their managers got sent off, and then after that it seemed to be that Barnsley seemed, as naturally would happen, to start to put pressure on you. Did you worry that you were going backwards a bit too much?
Well, it's not about defending deep or anything like that. You know, whenever you're playing a side who are a good side, you know, they're a strong side. They're going to push you back. You know, you're not going to dominate games for 90 minutes, and you know, as much pressure as we had on them first half, for the last sort of 15-20 minutes, they had a lot of pressure on us, and it's not about defending deep. I think we heard somebody say, "Oh, you know, we need to get up." It's not about that. You know, sometimes you're just defending your line, and if you get the opportunity, then you squeeze up, and games become a little bit fraught, and you know, they start sticking the ball in the box, and you know, you may not get enough purchase on your clearances or whatever. That's just football. You know, people get their spells in games, and listen, they're at home. They've been on absolute fire recently, and most of the season. You know, they've had a brilliant season, and so you expect some pressure, and it's how you deal with it, how you defend against it. And I thought we stood up to it. I mean, they had a great chance. BJ Christie come on, and it was a great ball into the box, and I thought he nudged Sean a little bit, and but however, you know, he's 6 yards out, and he's missed the target, you know, which was a real let off for us. But you know, it's not about defending deep or anything like that. It's just about how the game goes, and we fortunately defended in the right way.
And I'm sure you were equal to most of the Rebels fans and supporters all over the place who were getting anxious for the referee to blow his whistle. He found 9 minutes of added time. I think half of that was for his long conversations that he had with his linesman during that half. There was one key incident during that when the ball was thrown out by Jake Somerville, who collided with an attacker for Barton. And I think common courtesy would normally be that they'd return the ball to you. Obviously that didn't happen, and I saw things got a little bit fractious on the touchline.
Yeah, we didn't think it was the right thing to do, no matter what stage of the game you're at, how important the game is. Our opinion is that's something you don't do. If someone puts the ball out, you throw it back. Having said that, you know, we talked about it. I know one of our own players, who I won't mention, said, well, I would have played on. So sometimes the stakes are high, and teams do what they have to do. And it's done, it's forgotten. Thankfully, they didn't score off it. Maybe we'd be having a different conversation if they'd scored off it. But you know, they do what they do, you do what you do, and we move on.
Yeah, I think also, you know, they were obviously upset that our second goal come from a throw, which, you know, listen, I believe it was their throw. So, you know, obviously the video will clarify that, but you know, they were obviously disappointed that we've ended up scoring from a mistake from the referee. You know, my sort of answer to that is, you know, how many times are mistakes made in games by referees? You know, it's just common that it happens, and fortunately we were the benefactors of a decision tonight.
And so after the final whistle, handshakes all round, and conversations with the manager were all amicable.
Yeah, you've got to be. Listen, everyone's just desperate to win. They're where they are in the league because they're winners. We're where we are in the league because we're winners, and these are big games, high stakes, and listen, we all get a bit overexcited. I probably said things on the sidelines I shouldn't have done tonight. So that's because we're all desperate to do well. So, and it's all forgotten. You know, we move on. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. You get words are said on the pitch, words are said on the sidelines, and it's only because you want to win so much. So, you know, we're not even thinking about that now. It's done. We're just delighted to get the win.
Listen, they're good guys. You know, and John's right. They've they've had a really good season, and they want to win games of football. And you know, we're all passionate people. You know, at the end of the day, we've got one common love, and that's football. And you know, things are said and whatever else, but you know, they're quickly forgotten.
And so now on to AFC Hayes, a game in 48 hours' time. How do we look to approach it? How do the guys recuperate? Who gets treatment from Kev? And what is the ambition for AFC Hayes in 2 days' time?
Well, we need to win the game. You know, we've had a massive win tonight. It doesn't mean the job's done. We've still got lots of work to do, and it'll be tough. It's tough playing Thursday night and Saturday. We've just said to the lads, you need to do what you can. It's difficult. They're getting home now. It's 11:30 at night. They're getting home. A lot of them are getting up early and going to work. They haven't got time to properly prepare their bodies. But we said you've got to do what you can. You've got to try and eat the right things. If you can get out for a little jog and a stretch tomorrow night, or a swim, you know, whatever you think you need. Some will recover better than others. You know, 1 or 2 have got knocks, and we just hope everybody's fit and ready to go again. And yeah, we've got options if we want to change it, and that's the hardest thing as a manager. You've had a brilliant performance. Do you change it, or do you stick with what you go with? And if we don't win the game, whatever we've done, we'll wish we did the other. You've just got to, you know, we know our players better than anyone, and we've just got to make those decisions, and we won't rush into it. We'll see how everyone is, and I'm sure me and Bakes will get together and have a chat Saturday morning and put out what we think's the right team to win the game.
I think we also know, you know, that the game is going to be a tough game. We went and watched obviously Hayes and Barton on Tuesday night, and we were actually really impressed with Hayes. They played some really good football. I think that it was just probably a lack of cutting edge on the night up front that, you know, they probably didn't get a result. And you know, they played some great stuff. You know, we were really impressed with them, and it's one of those. They come to us early on in the season and beat us 2-1, and they beat us fair and square on the day. And you know, so we know that we've got to approach a game in the right manner. And you know, and as Sean said, it's going to be tough for the lads to recover in time for Saturday, because it's probably 36 hours, and you know, they've just put in a massive shift tonight. So it's going to be a tough game Saturday.
Talking of knocks, is there anything that really concerns you? Obviously, Somerville went down towards the end injured. A couple of players seem to be limping during the game. Is there anyone you're specifically concerned about for Saturday?
I think Jake's obviously taken a knock, and I think he's going to be sore. He's going to have to play through it. You know, it's not. I don't think it's just a kick. You know, he's going to have to. I think he's going to have to grin and bear it and play. You know, yeah, 1 or 2. I mean, one of the concerns, Warren Harris has been carrying an injury, and we don't know yet how his knee will react to the hard work he's put in tonight. So we're hoping he recovers and can play. Yeah, I don't know of anything that's worrying us at the moment. We'll touch base with them all tomorrow and see how they are, but I don't think we'll have too many problems. No,
we should be able to bring in Dan Sintom, who was not fit for tonight, so he should hopefully, you know, come back into the squad as well. So it gives us a few more options, but yeah, it's not a lot of time between the next game.
No, and finally, up to the average of 2 points per game. It's taken a long time to get there. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's taken all season to get there. I think 2 points is recognised as what you need to get in the playoffs. I know Beaconsfield got in on 84 last year, and that's been in our mind as a target, and we haven't been able to quite get there. And every time we think we're going to get there, we have a bit of a wobble. But we're on a fantastic run. We've won 11 out of 13, and you know that the lads deserve massive credit for that. And but all it's done is just kept us in the hunt. You know, we're not done. I still think there's 6 teams going for 5 positions. Kettering have had 2 big wins this week, so they're back on form. Barton will bounce back Saturday, and it just keeps everyone in together. What I will say, we are the form team. Out of the top 6, we're the form team at the moment, and you know, but that can change. That can change Saturday, but we've just got to keep going. The lads' confidence levels are high. Their belief in each other is high. And we've got every belief that we can do it, but you know, things can change so quickly.
Football changes very quickly. You know, as
to the second half here, live from AFC Hayes home ground of Farm Park, where Slough are visiting, leading 1-0. Slough at half time. A goal for Warren House. There is a change at half time for Slough. Dobson has come on for Jake Parsons, which we presume will be due to injury. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think he got a little knock just in the last 5 minutes of that first half when he came over to the right-hand side. So, and Jake's fitness has been a bit up and down because of his slight knee injury he had at the beginning of the season. So maybe a precaution to take him off.
The referee's just about to get us underway for this second half. I'll quickly take you through the teams. In goal for AFC Hayes, number 1, Damien Lafoule. Number 2 and captain Jamie Walters. 3, Charlie Crane. 4, Ricky Michelle. 5, Charlie Good. 6, Lee McManus. 7, Michael Vincent. 8, Mitch Goff. 9, Tony Mendy. And 11, Reese Rabes. And on the bench today is number 12, Tam Bailey. 14, Reese Poole. 15, Jack Staunton. 16, Jordan Law. And 17, Andrew Harewood. As there's a free kick to AFC Hayes, 10 yards inside.
Foul on Thomas there.
Foul on Thomas. So on the right-hand side, 10 yards into the Slough half. On the right-hand side, Williams and also Crane, the left back, looking to. Crane's going to have an in-swing corner, put Slough under pressure, signals with one arm, and is looking to deliver this in-swinging ball into the box. Hit towards the far post. Keeper comes a long way. Punches the ball out clear, so it'll go out throw. Good decision to come and punch there. I won't give you the Slough team just as yet. I'll wait to see the end of this passage of play as Mendy himself takes the throw, throws it in the box, but Hollis is wondering where Mendy is to mark and just heads it clear. Comes back to Goff, edge of the box for AFC Hayes, but Johnny Dyer working hard back in there. Bit of a naughty challenge there, I thought, by Johnny Dyer.
I think Johnny Dyer just put his foot in to try and get the ball, and the guy's fallen over, and the referee's fell for that one.
And so there's now a free kick again, which Crane's now gone all the way over the far side, which he looks like he's going to take, but also Goff stabbed right foot over it. 15 yards outside the edge of the box, and on the very towards the far touchline. Once again, loading players forward. The tall figures of Good and Michelle in there. Attended to by Willie, but a poor free kick low, and Fraser clears the ball high and mighty up to halfway and very close to the AFC Hayes dugout. The Slough team in what goal? Number 1, Jake Somerville. 2, Sean Fraser. 3, Ryan Parsons. 4, Guy Hollis. 5, and captain Dave Woosley. 6, George Short. 7, Johnny Dyer. 8, James McClurg. 9, Ed Smith. 10, and goal scorer after 8 minutes, Warren Harris. 11, Jake Parsons, who's now been replaced by 15, James Dobson. And then on the bench for Slough, you have 12, Dan Simpson. 14, Gareth Risbridger. 15, James Dobson's obviously come on. 16, Adam Cornell. And 18, Steve Duff. You haven't really missed much action there. The ball kind of was pinged around a little bit, gone out and out of play on the far side.
Ping pong on the far right-hand side there. Sean Fraser taking the throw just inside his own half. And
Short is almost playing like an old-fashioned kind of sweeper, sitting in front of the back four, because there's AFC Hayes seems to be playing quite an attacking formation. Really, they're leaving 3 players up pretty much at all occasions, free kicks, corners. But at the moment, they're coming out to win the ball as Woos comes out and blocks well against Vincent, and now Good has a little look, but McClurg snatches the ball 10 yards outside the edge of the box, dead centre of the pitch, passes it to Ed Smith, right hand edge of the box, looks to standing on the ball. Craig slips crucially. Ed Smith thunders a shot in at the near post, well palmed away by the keeper Lafoule, and it's gone out of play on the right-hand side, which Fraser will take it. But a good chance, a good strike there by Smith.
It's a great strike by Ed, but we've been giving this keeper a bit of stick, but he's made a good save there, pushed that wide.
And now Shaw on the right-hand touchline, cutting back and forth, trying to get past Goff, pass it out to Fraser. But now Dobson will try and pick it up, but the ball's out on the halfway, and Hollis will go and take the throw on the far side. Hollis, interestingly.
Yeah, ball's thrown in. Johnny Dyer's one that he's hooked it on, but George Short's just run past that. And AFC Hayes have the ball in their own half, bringing it out. Goff's got the ball. And he's looking to play it wide to Walters, the right back. But won by Ryan Parsons to Dobson, who's trying to flick it over and beat Vincent.
Yeah, that'll be all right. We'll be all right. You do that bit, and I can see that. And so that's a very aerial ball. We can see that. Do you want to go and get that one? Climb over the fence and get it?
I think that one's gone with the other one that they lost in the first half. There was 2 gentlemen went out to try and get the ball, but I don't know if they've come back. So
do you want to risk going around the front of the table?
Ooh.
Here we go.
New zone.
Just to see if we can. I'll let you go first. This is a crucial, groundbreaking movement here for Rebels Radio. We're going around the front of the table. to get back through. As Slough are attacking. Dobson involved in the ball, blocks it well, and up against Good, dash down on the near side. Dobson will keep it in, and with his left foot will look to cross the ball in. Up against Good, but Good comes back well, blocks the ball, and it's a throw-in or a corner?
It's gone out for a corner. Great play there by Good. He's done well to defend that one, but Dobson's come on the second half, and he's trying to get into the game. Just waiting for the ball to come over. So it's corner on the left, Dobson to take. And again, Slough leave 4 back at the back. And finally, the Slough Town fans get behind the team with a bit of noise.
Yeah, the Slough fans making a little bit of noise. Poor corner, brought too low there from Dobson, but it comes out for a throw-in. And
Goff clearing that one out for a throw-in, just on the edge of the penalty area.
And we're a little bit close to the pitch now, so so we've got a little bit of a better view here. As the ball's thrown back to McClurg, 10 yards inside the half, shut down quite well, blocked, but it falls to Short. Short flicks it on, and Ed Smith has a left foot volley across goal, but blocked, and Ed Smith will have another bite of the choke. Back to Woos. Woos hooks it. It's in the box. Johnny! Warren Harris smashes the ball against the crossbar, and now Woos is still in there, edge of the box. Cross it out left to Dobson. Dobson fires the ball into the box. Frantic defending here from Hayes as George Short now picks it up 20 yards outside.
So Ryan Parsons on the wides.
Ryan Parsons now clips the ball towards the far step. Woos is still forward. Woos up in the air to Johnny Dyer, but won by Michelle, and now Hayes will have the opportunity. But under hit and
made a mistake there. He's given that away. But George Short's tried to play Warren Harris through, but just too far.
The frantic period is over now. But we're not allowed to block everything. Yeah, and this is apparently public. I don't know. We just do what we told Stuart. Typical Somerville, we're getting moaned at here. I'll get some tape next time for you. Can I borrow some of your tit tape? As there's a soft free kick there given away by Hayes. Slough will have a free kick just inside their own half, but that was a real interesting period of play there with Warren Harris connecting really well. Did the keeper get a touch? It looked like he might have done.
I think the keeper got a touch to that, but Dave Woozy was up there from the corner, stayed up there creating a little bit of havoc, but again the two centre-backs, Good and McKell, seem to be winning a lot of these headers. And
once again, as you say, McKell picks up the ball, heads the free kick clear, but only as far as Harris on the right. Then George Short tries a clever flick through to Harris, but now Harris up against Crane on the far side, and Harris just closes it down and it goes into the terrace on the far side. Slough certainly started brightly again this second half. In some of the other goals, please let us know. So Barton Rovers have gone 1-0 up in their game at Barton Rovers has gone 2-0 up, and Mendy's now on the charge, left-hand edge of the pitch. Throw. He's skipped away, but Woos does very well, pickpockets him after he's beaten Hollis, and now clips the ball away. And Mendy leaves a little bit on Woos there, and now McClurg and Short combine in the middle of midfield, and Short does well to avoid the attentions of the AFC Hayes player. And now Mendy picks it up midway inside the AFC half, flicks it back to Vincent, and Vincent then flicks the ball out of play. The Slough can breathe a sigh of relief. Kettering a 2-0 up against Aylesbury.
Yeah, you can see the danger that Tony Mendy causes there. That's the first time he's really had the ball on for him to run onto. He's turned Guy Hollis. Slough the ball at the moment just inside the AFC Hayes half with Johnny Dyer on the right, trying to keep the ball in. He's played it down the line for Warren Harris. And
Warren Harris uses his strength up against McLeod, fighting the ball away, and seems to get held off the ball as the keeper's got it. And now this is where it's worth actually closing him down, because he really wants to roll this ball out.
He's not going to kick this one far. Oh.
He's actually connected all right with that. And now Mendy and Hollis are having all sorts of a battle up there. And now ball goes through to Fraser. Fraser up to McClurg. McClurg now to Short. Short out left to Dobson. Dobson's got a little bit of time. Ball's bobbling around for him though, but composed himself. Now back on the left back position, clears the ball up the line. Johnny Dyer interested. Good, gets his head to it, but Dobson picks up the second ball brilliantly on his chest, getting followed by Vincent. Vincent gets a touch in there, but Dobson's in the box. Ed Smith now touched the ball, but I think Ed Smith was in an offside position, so
there, but that's great play by Dobson.
Dobson showing his intent straight away and his physicality.
But the referees let the game go, and AFC Hayes have the ball. They're attacking, and it's Guy Hollis versus Tony Mendy on the halfway line.
Mendy strikes the ball out towards his captain, but cut out well, and now Slough will have the opportunity to attack, but there's the wrong decided ball there by Dobbo, who should have played a simple ball there to Parsons, but tried to play the glorious crossfield, but it's ended up with Warren Harris anyway. Harris will drive the ball back to the edge of the box. Johnny Dyer has time to compose, takes 2 touches, flicks it over himself, left-footed, sliced effort, and it spins so much it doesn't even go out of play. But better play. The game is very open.
Yeah, Warren Harris making a good run down the side. He's caught that in, and Ed Smith stummied that for Johnny Dyer, but his touch took it away from him, and not good there. But AFC Hayes have it in the minute in their own half. Giving it away.
Johnny Dyer flicks the ball through to Ed Smith. Ed Smith's through, but the keeper's come out to the edge of his box and looks to roll the ball out quickly. Rolls it out to McManus, deep in his own half. Out right to Good. Good long ball up, held up well by Thomas. Thomas flicks it through in the direction of Mendy, but key interception there from Hollis to flick the ball away, and Somerville goes and gathers it, and Baker's screaming at him to get rid of the ball quickly. And
that's a great tackle by he's dived in there. If Guy Hollis hasn't got that, then Mendy's clean through on goal.
Ed Smith getting a shove in his back there from Michelle. McClurg wins the second ball though, and now out on the left with Dobson, and Dobson wins the ball, but in touching distance of us, throws the ball into Johnny Dyer's feet, touch back towards Parsons, bit strong, and the ball's out for a throw in to AFC Hayes. Frantic start. I don't think they'll be able to continue this pace to the end of the game.
No, but Slough don't seem to be settling on the ball at all here at the moment.
And AFC Hayes seem a lot more intent in this first opening 10 minutes of second half. It remains Slough 1 goal to the good. Warren Harris scored after 8 minutes or so in the first half. The clouds, it's just a bit lighter now. The wind's died, and Somerville with the ball at his feet clears the ball long. Johnny Dyer underneath it, up against Good. Good wins it, but it ricochets off Johnny Dyer to Ed Smith. Back to Johnny Dyer. Johnny Dyer has a shot from long outside the box, but straight down the throat of the keeper, LaFou, and he gathers well. And he's going to be forced to kick it long because Ed Smith wise to now is rolling out, and he doesn't look like a footballer when he kicks it at all. But Mendy collects it on his chest, but Warren Harris is now interested, wins the ball. Short touch off to George Short. Well played, nice interplay. Flipped by Johnny Dyer. Warren Harris is now on it. Great football here from Slough. Warren Harris advances to the edge of the box, chips it across. Ed Smith on the touch.
That should be a penalty there for a high foot.
I think it would be obstruction, so it would be an indirect free kick, but it was certainly an infringement, I would say. In the edge of the boxes, I know Warren Harris is short, but you shouldn't be lifting your foot that high.
No, but then if you look back to the Manchester United game against Real Madrid when Nani got sent off for a high foot,
yeah,
that was no worse than that.
No, absolutely. As the ball's quickly all the way down the far side, and now Hayes have the opportunity to have an attacking throw. Crane throws the ball short. Gets the ball back. Hollis now come out in attendance. Inside to Rabes now to McManus. McManus shot from the edge of the box. Decent connection.
Safely seen wide by Jake.
Decent connection, but wide of the goal. And we have played 12.5 minutes here at Hayes. Interesting. Dobson's made quite an impact since he's come on.
He does like to get the ball, and he's very forward going. He wants to beat the man every time he gets the ball and get the cross in, but the two centre-backs for AFC Hayes are playing very well at the moment. It's Jake Somerville to take the goal kick.
If you are having any sound issues today listening, please do continue to press the refresh button. I know YouTube's sometimes a little bit of a sensitive thing. Essentially, Somerville kicks it long. Johnny Dyer flicks it on well to Ed Smith. Midway in the half, George Short stabs the ball forward, and Warren Harris is in. The keeper's advancing. Warren Harris has an opportunity here, but well blocked by the keeper. Second ball might come out. Headed back well by Vincent. The keeper going his wrong way. Uses reaction from kickboxing, holds the ball, and averts the danger. But that was a good finish. I don't think Warren could have done much more with that.
Not much more with that, but it's well defended there by Vincent Seven, heading it back to his goalkeeper.
And now the ball picked up by the skipper, Walters, midfield, outright to McManus. McManus back to Walters, all the way back to Good now. Ed Smith in attendance. Ed Smith shutting him down a little bit. Ball in field. Parsons up the line to Dobbo. Dobbo hooks it up the line, and it's out just in front of us for a throw-in. Slough need to compose themselves a little bit, I think.
Yeah, AFC Hayes having the better of this second half. They've obviously realised that with only the one goal that there's something in this game. They're not giving up. Slough just lacking a little bit of quality in the final third here at the moment.
As Dobbo goes for the ball, but it's won well, and now AFC Hayes still attacking. They're much brighter in the second half as Rabes inside, but only finds McClurg. McClurg now picks up the ball, easily beats there, and chips a great ball through to Ed Smith with two defenders around him, but heads it back in the wrong direction. Ed Smith then gives up. He needs to keep on working up there, needs to support his team as Warren Harris goes charging up with his hands up in the air and puts pressure on. The keeper's ball's back to the keeper, and the keeper doesn't like kicking it, so why on earth are they not putting a bit more pressure on him there?
The trouble there was only Smithy was
and Dobson beat the ball off Waters. He's now advancing edge of the box. He cuts it back. Waters does well to fight back, showing a good physicality. Dobson wins the corner, and that Dobson had the chance, I think, to pull the trigger and get that crossing a little bit earlier.
Yeah, he done really well there to rob the right back. Waters, also the captain of the ball, but Waters got back there. But the problem there was Ed Smith was the only one up. So.
And Dobson now with the outswinging corner. The Rebels fans making their presence heard here. They've certainly doubled, if not trebled, the average attendance that they have here. Kettering have probably brought the most here when they brought 156, was it? Corner comes in from Dobson, low. Flicked on at the near post by Dyer, and Ed Smith, literally a yard out, flicks the ball over the bar. And it was more a reaction getting in the way of the ball, and it was a chance.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper's gone back to his usual thing of not taking the kicks. And a substitution for A.F.C. Hayes.
As Vincent makes way for Lowell. So Vincent is... so Vincent has done his 60 minutes and is subbed for Jordan Lowell. Be interesting to see what difference that makes, whether it makes any difference to their formation. But he's coming on, seemingly playing in the middle of midfield. But as ever, Hayes are pushing plenty of bodies forward with Mendy being the person furthest forward. George Short once again having a great game in the middle of midfield, picks up the ball, wins a header. Johnny Dyer then picks up the second ball, tries to get it back to Harris, rebounds out of play, and now Fraser in line with the dugout on the far side of the pitch here in the Slough half. In the AFC Hayes half. Slough playing right to left. Attacking this half, and ball back to Fraser. Fraser now picks it up, will have an opportunity to perhaps deliver, just standing on the ball, pass it back to Short. Bobbles just in front of Short. Short controls it, but it overhits the pass, and it goes out for a goal kick to Hayes, to our left. And you don't want it to get nervous, but you just feel there is a bit of nerves out there.
You can see it creeping into the game. Like I say, Slough lacking a little bit of quality, but I think if they can play the ball over the top of the two centre-backs of McKell and Goods of AFC Hayes, you might have a chance.
Dobson picks up the ball, passes it out to Ryan Parsons. Parsons, with his new haircut, nearly picks up the ball, and Walters overruns it, and Walters uses his strength to try and hold the ball off, but Walters does well, pass it back to Good, and Good now upfield, but now Dobson's got a touch. Dobson on the ball, chips the ball up in the direction of Parsons, but Walters was strong to it again, and now Parsons still stuck against it, or play almost immediately in front of us. Slough players working extremely hard without the possession of the ball. Clips the ball forward long to Rabes, but Hollis comes through from the back. Great ball through to the right to Harris, and Harris picks it up, advances towards the edge of the box. Is he going to pull the trigger? He's rounded one player, crosses it across, and almost an own goal, but good defending from Crane, concedes the corner.
He's side-footed that one out to stop that going across. You had Johnny Dyer at the front post, Ed Smith at the back post, but a good touch there by the defender, knocking it out for a corner.
Dunstable 2 goals to the good at Chertsey now. Dunstable 2 goals to the good. So game's going as expected today. As Dobson Dobson making his way in his 15 shirt all the way over to the far side to have this corner and in swinging this time. Hayes still persisting in keeping 3 players forward, so 3 players on the halfway line. All their attackers along with McClurg and defenders alongside. So Woosley towards the back stick. Johnny Dyer goes and attacks the ball. Seems to get hit in the face, and the referee needs to stop this immediately because I think he got punched. Yeah. I think he went for the ball. The keeper went for the ball, and the keeper punched the ball and Johnny Dyer's head. So Johnny Dyer curled up in a ball, and I would think Cornell will be on his way to get warmed up. I can see Cornell stood just outside the dugout on the far side, having a little bit of a stretch, just with John Underwood's right next to him. Watching with intent as Kev does his treatment of it. The referee was sharp to that, though. You sometimes see referees not quite aware of what's going on.
He clearly saw that one, but like you say, if this keeper's a champion kickboxer, that's going to give Johnny Dyer a bit of a headache there. But brave play from him to go for that ball.
And the referee seems to be interacting now with the Rebels faithful behind the goal. I'm not sure exactly for what purpose or what reason, but he's... Is
he orchestrating the singing there?
I'm not sure. He looked like he was orchestrating the singing. He's just saying, don't do this, do this. I'm not sure. It's very interesting. He's shaking his hand and saying, watch out, be careful.
I think he's trying to pull there, actually, John.
I think he is. He's doing some. He's got some moves in. He's got some techers, hasn't he? Got a little bit in his locker over there. Johnny Dyer. Oh. Johnny Dyer, I don't think will be fit. I think will be fit to continue. I think that's what the signal there from Kev was. The referee's still almost immediately in front of the Slough faithful, talking about the crossing. I think perhaps he was just explaining the decision why. I think they were all screaming for a penalty, but I think he said, well, actually, no, they just crossed one another.
Whatever he said, he's making the Slough fans laugh. So, and that's really good to see the interaction there from the referee. A lot of them just run away.
And yeah, there's a fair degree of banter, lots of lightheartedness, and let's hope that continues to the end, as we have played about 20 minutes of the second half, but we've had Johnny Dyer's been down for at least 2 or 3 minutes now, so this will lead to a bit more squeaky bum time at the end.
Yeah, but Cornell's not exactly going through his paces at the moment, so Johnny Dyer, you're right. He's got up now with a round of applause from everyone around the ground.
And Johnny Dyer is, you know, I think he's not all that up there, so I think it would take quite a lot to knock him out.
Well, I mean, his brother Danny Dyer, he's got to be hard, isn't he, really?
Yeah, exactly. And it's ever since he's lost his ginger beard now, but he's kind of making his way up. Just gets a hit on the head, which I'm not sure whether that's the right thing to do. A pat on the head for getting up, and
he hasn't left the field at the moment, though, John. And
I don't think he is leaving the head.
He should do, but the referee hasn't seen it.
No, the referee's not asking him to leave the field, I don't think. Referee's very smiley out there, and Ed Smith's now just going to take a shot of goal from this from this drop ball. Very close to the edge of the box. He's not going to do it, but it's interestingly because he's kicked it out for a goal kick, and now that force good to go back and have another one. I thought for a minute the keeper might take it. If you want to contact us at all, please at MyFC's Rebel Radio. Let us know what's going on. How are you? Send us photos. Where are you watching the Rebels from this afternoon, or listening? Sorry. And what else is going on? Is there anything fun, interesting? Are you at any better location than us? We're in a great location. We're enjoying ourselves. What better afternoon could you have?
Not bad, but we'll see. This week's good news was tainted by the injury to Slough under-18 goalkeeper Matty Bonnet, who played on Thursday night and unfortunately has broken his leg in 3 places. So we all wish him the best for his recovery.
Yeah, and he is here this afternoon. His mum's here, and he's here, sat here in the stands, watching the game.
In the dugout over there.
Yeah, with a blue cast on, and they're hoping that it was quite a clean break, although it was in 3 places. It was actually up against AFC Hayes in the junior game, which Mark Betts. In the youth team game which Mark Betts run, and
it looks like Johnny Dyer's coming off for Adam Cornell there.
So yeah, Cornell making way now for I think that punch has just been perhaps the end of him a little bit. So Johnny Dyer being substituted after about 65 minutes here at Farm Park and replaced by Adam Cornell. Cornell will get an opportunity here to get himself into that starting 11. He was a bit unlucky not to start on Thursday.
But he's into the play straight away already. And
Crane clips a ball long. Woosley's wise to it, underneath it, and then hooked further clear by Hollis. And then McClurg very well out jumped there. But the ball's bobbling around. It's not very clean play at the moment. And Crane's not at all happy. He's acting like he's just lost something very severe. Throws the ball away a bit stroppily. He's lost a lot of toys
out of his prams there. He's gone in with a skiving tackle on Sean Fraser, and the ball's gone out, and the referee's pulled it back for a throw-in.
Just a little bit of a lull in the ground here at the moment since that injury as George Short clips the ball forward and Cornell's interested, jumps underneath it, ricochets in his direction, now he's sharp to it as Ed Smith passes the ball cross-field to Dobson in midfield in the AFC Hayes. Parsons skewing past him, but Dobson's going to pull the trigger. It's going towards the far post, but well smothered by Laffoul because it got a slight deflection on there, which I think just took a bit of pace off it. But Slough
Cornell was in there with hoping that the goalkeeper would spill it, but he's kept hold of that one.
And his very odd style of kicking served him well, but Woosley's underneath it. This time blocks him, falls at Mendy's feet. Mendy now facing towards goal, but
given a free kick there.
Given a free kick, odd that he didn't play advantage there. Slightly fortuitous, I would say, for Slough that he didn't play advantage because he could have at least seen how that progressed.
Was in with just Guy Hollis to beat there, but the referee's pulled that back. So
there's
a bit of a let off.
Free kick, centre of the pitch, in the Slough half, and the bigger players are making their way forwards. Good. Looks like he's going to stand over it. He looks like he actually fancies possibly a shot. It looks too far to be a shot. It's got to be all of 35, 40 yards.
Good and Goff over the ball, but you can see the
certainly lining up. He's going to give it a smash, and he has smashed it way over and way wide, but he got a good amount of power on it.
Yeah, but you can see the difference in when a free kick was there. Slough only had Ed Smith up waiting for any loose balls, whereas every time AFC Hayes have 3 forwards looking to break as quick as possible. So Jake's just about to take the goal kick in his all-yellow outfit, including his yellow and green boots.
Yeah, his dizzy boots. He loves to wear in his yellow kit. He's just lining himself up. Slough need to kind of stamp their authority. I think a second goal would help them. There's a low kick, flicked on by Dobson. Dobson will get a second bite of the cherry, flicks the ball up, uses his strength well, but Hayes sharp now out there, knocking the ball around well, but McClurg clips the ball out left to find Harris on the left-hand edge of the box, has a little run, cuts inside, but Walters is there, does very well. He's had a strong game, the captain, and clips the ball long wide, but it's harmlessly, and Woos, and there's a little bit of afters off the ball there, but Woos had plenty of time there, and he didn't do well enough for me. And there's a player down injured in front of us.
And the refs stopped the game there for injury to...
I believe it's to Romain Thomas.
Yeah,
Down in front of us, holding the back of his knee.
But he's jumped to the ball with Ryan Parsons, and Ryan Parsons has landed on him, and he's got a bit of a hand injury, but he's up and about now.
And the shoot, and the referee's just dropping the ball.
Told Dobson to kick the ball back, but the goalkeeper was
like
near his
changed leg up.
And if he had kicked that back, that would have gone into the back
and he
of
should
the
have shot.
net.
And he's rolled it out gently to the left to Good. Good, high ball up the line in the direction of Thomas, but Parsons wins that header. But who's going to win the second ball? Short flicks the ball on. There's a big midfield battle going on. There's an arm wrestle going on in the middle of midfield as substitute Law gets a touch on the ball, pass it back into Mackle midfield, and now McClurg up against Mackle. Oh, and that was a cheeky challenge there, but Warren Harris doesn't get beaten very often in there. And now the substitute Lowell comes away with the ball, tries to play ball through, shinned by Hollis, but hooked in no uncertain terms, clear by Woos, and the ball's now up on the halfway line. Returned, and Short's winning that, flicking it onto Dobson. I don't think there was any sort of free kick there. That was a terrible decision. There was a tall man against a small man, and Short didn't even have to jump. He clearly won the header. His arms were down by his side, but because the substitute Jordan Law went down, he's awarded a free kick to Hayes, and I think that's probably the worst decision he's made. I thought up until this point he's been a good referee. That
was a terrible decision, and he's letting him take the free kick 10 yards back. It's nowhere near the incident actually occurred, so he's not spotted that either.
And Crane is over the ball now, in swinging free kick towards the far side of the Slough box, flicked by Woosley and Good, and Woosley's appealing, but it's a corner on the far side, and it looks like Rabes is going over. Rabes is looking for a quick one as the players are going to the box, and there seems to be a bit of...
Thomas has gone over there as well. And
Goff on the edge of the box now, taken a short one out to the edge of the box, so Goff is going to try and chip it in with his right foot into the direction of the keeper. Somerville under absolutely no pressure, but I don't think there's any urgency to get the ball forward. Ed Smith's up one-on-one at the back, but I don't think we're particularly looking for it, as Somerville just looking to eat away a bit of time here.
But he's given the two centre-backs time to get back. He's launched it long, Cornell's underneath it,
and
but
Cornell
clears up.
And McClurg just wins the ball there, and now Cornell does well, battles it. Passes the ball out right, and Ed Smith's onside. Ed Smith in the edge of the box. Comes inside, has an opportunity. Left foot shot. Great save with his feet by LaFool. But now Dobson's going to pick the ball up on the far line. Slips. Now has the ball. Whips the ball across, headed across by Cornell. But that was a great chance that Ed Smith made for himself. Coming in on the far touchline, cut back inside. Left footed shot, low. No more than 7 or 8 yards out, and the keeper saved it well with his feet.
He did, and the keeper was very fortunate that as he saved it with his feet, it spun behind Cornell, who was in there. But the problem there was that those were the only two players inside the box, with Smith and Cornell. The midfield, especially the two wide boys, aren't getting in and helping them out. So that's got to change if we want to put some of these chances away.
In some of the other games around the division, Daventry are leading 3-0 against home to St Ives, and Kettering are leading 3-0 at home to Aylesbury FC. So it's essential that for the continued fight for promotion, that the faithful of Slough are now not happy because another seemingly soft free kick's been awarded to AFC Hayes. I thought that may have been a foul. I thought McClurg might have just caught him, but
yeah, I think it was just a slight little push off the ball by McClurg on Goff there. But
quickly taken, and now a thunderbolt over the bar. But it's got a deflection at some point from McManus, and the Slough bed. John Underwood's running down, gesticulating. Look, John Underwood's running down, gesticulating with the assistant on the far side. He's had a shot from McManus had a shot from 10-15 yards outside the box, and he skied it, and it went miles over the bar, and the referee's awarded. He's the only man in the game.
By the referee, the linesman was signalling a goal kick, so the referee's seen something we haven't.
And the corner clipped in towards the far post. George does very well, defends it solidly, and now it's Ricky Michel's turn to argue and to not be very happy. But in the last 2 minutes, the referee's probably gone downhill dramatically.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago, Slough were on the wrong end of a terrible decision.
And there's now, I believe this is the second substitution for AFC Hayes. We have Mitch Goff just making way. I think he did seem to run out of legs a little bit.
And is it Jack Stratton coming on?
Yes, Stratton or Staunton. But Stratton or Staunton's on the pitch now, replacing Mitch Goff. We've played half an hour here of the second half, and Mitch Goff's now been replaced by number.
As I was saying,
50.
2 years ago, Slough came here. We were 1-0 up, and a terrible refereeing decision where he gave a penalty, which amazed every single fan and the AFC players. It was a last-minute penalty, and then Dom Rohn, who went on to play for Slough, tucked it away nicely for a 1-1 draw. But we were robbed on that night, and looks like the referees caught that bug.
And Woo's won the ball well there. The Bulls having plenty of challenges, and George Short just went up with a challenge for Good. And I think the referee's gone from having a bit of banter. I don't think he'll be venturing up towards that far end with quite the open arms that he did a few moments ago.
Maybe some of the Slough faithful have said something to him, and he's now taken it into account. He had been very lenient with the fouls in the first half.
As the plenty of Slough fans all over the ground are voicing their displeasure at it, as Good comes unchallenged from the back, heads it clear into midfield. George Short underneath it, seemingly getting fouled, and amazingly, you can hear the ironic is that the referee's given it, and McClurg looks to try and take a quick free kick, but decides better against it, calms the ball down a bit, and I think Fraser's now going to be left to chip this ball forward. Cornell looking interested, and Cornell marked by Good looking interested over this far side, but Dobson also interested. Chipped out towards this left side. Cornell underneath it with Good at his back. Good won everything in the air as far as I've seen this afternoon. Played really, really well. And the ball blocked by McClurg, and McClurg flicks the ball out hard. But they're certainly gambling a little bit more now, Hayes.
Yeah.
Hayes are getting the better of this game.
Yeah, the two centre-backs for Hayes have been outstanding, McCall and Good. But the referee is doing now with the second half. He's blowing for everything. And the first half, he tried to let the game go.
There hasn't really been that bad a challenge in the game. There haven't been any kind of fisting. There hasn't been the tension as there was on Thursday night. Not
at all. It's a game played in quite a good spirit, but like I say, there's no flow in the first half.
Warren Harris breaks down the right-hand side, up against his nemesis Crane, and Crane clears the ball well for a throw, and it's an attacking throw on the far side. You can see Dan Simpson warming up, so I'm not sure whether one of the back four is tired, injured, or whether he may go on in the centre of the midfield.
Risbridge is over there as well. They're both in the corner, warming up.
And now the final substitute, I believe, for AFC Hayes. So we've already had Vincent Givenway and Goff. So they've got rid of their two centre midfielder playing, and now they're taking off Rubis, and on's coming Andrew Harewood. So Harewood replacing Rubis. I think that's the end of food. If you wanted food, it's too late.
32 minutes gone in the second half, so that's the last of the substitutions for AFC Hayes. Slough obviously still got one left to make if they need to, but it looks like Risbridge is the one that's going to maybe, if he does come on, he's the one warming up.
Some conversations going on between the Slough joint managers on the far side as Harris and combines well on the edge of the box with Fraser, and now Cornell coming back away from his own goal, back to Fraser out on the right hand side, deep inside the half, and flicked off, I believe it's Crane, who's also had a very solid game out there, had a really good ding-dong battle with Harris.
He's got a bit of a temper on him, but he is a good player.
Fraser with the throw into the edge of the box, flicked on by McClurg, hooked clear by Good, who's been everywhere, and now Parsons comes out the back, flicks the ball forward. Dobson missed it altogether, and now AFC Hayes may have the opportunity to break. Harewood's first touch of the ball, but
he's come back and get that ball, and he's bringing it out on the right-hand side.
Passes it behind, unfortunately, Harris, and out for a throw. And just a little bit more composure and quality, and you think Slough could put this game to bed?
Yeah, that's all they're lacking. There's a bit of quality on the ball. That's why I'm just wondering if Risbridge is the man to come on. Described as a puppeteer on the forum, a man that will pull the string, so he could be the person that might change this game for Slough. So at the moment, George Short's got it on the right, being closed down by the substitute.
Oh, and you could hear that tackle, and that is going to be the first booking after we said there wasn't booking. Fraser got caught late there, I believe it was by Romain Thomas, and I don't think it was anything that serious, but McClurg loves to have a little bit of a rise in there, so he's having a bit of he's just perhaps influenced the referee a little bit, but that I think will be the first caution of the afternoon.
And commentator's curse there, John. You said tough challenges, and then Sean Fraser's he's up and about it. Just feeling a little bit of a wince in his knee, it looks like, but
that was more clumsy than anything else. So it wasn't malicious, was it?
It's not, but it looks like the referee's got to book him.
He is. He's reached for his book. So Thomas is the first man to go in the book after 34 minutes of the second half. It remains AFC Hayes 0, Slough Town 1. An early goal after 8 or 9 minutes from Warren Harris is all that separates the teams. But Slough have been good value so far for their win without actually putting them away. Certainly, the keeper Lafoule has been the busier of the two the two keepers out there on show. So Slough have a free kick on the far side, which Dobson will clip in. Dobson drives it towards the back of the box. Harris is interested, but the linesman's flag goes up for offside. But there was a good header in there, won by Slough, but nothing coming of it. And now Good will launch a long clearance, and Mendy certainly interested in this. Mendy up against Parsons, but over them. And now it's Hollis up against the substitute. He seemed to put his hand into Hollis's face there, but the ball's now through to Cornell in the centre field. Passes it outright to Warren Harris. Warren Harris switches the ball back towards McClurg. McClurg up against Good.
Clears up again.
But Good is Good today, isn't he, unfortunately? And McClurg comes back a long way and uses his body to make no doubt whatsoever what's going to happen there.
Shoulder to shoulder that was, John, and the little Jamie McClure's knocked him off the ball, and the referee's given yet another foul that he wouldn't have given in the first half.
And Good strikes the ball over to the far side towards Crane. Fraser up well, wins the ball, heads it out of play, but he's gone down again. Fraser's now down on the down. I don't know whether it was a trailing arm or something, but he looks in trouble, doesn't he?
I think it was the way he landed there. He seems to.
I think he's winded. I hope he's winded. I hope it's not a I hope it's not a collarbone or anything like that.
The way, but it looks like he's either clutching his arm or his stomach.
No, I think he's just having a little breathe. I think he's just winded. I think he must have. He is having a bit of a limp. Yeah, he's got his heads on his hands with his arms wide over. He just feels like he's winded. I think he got connected, but it will be a throw into AFC Hayes far side to Mendy. Back to Crane, flicked in field to Mendy again. Mendy loses out there and surrounded by two Slough players, and McClurg's certainly interested in just puts Mendy into the fence there as the ball's gone, and Mendy reacts. Mendy's reacted petulantly, and I'm sure that'll amuse the Slough faithful. And
I don't think the referee saw that one at all there.
I don't think so. And McManus was putting his arms out. He's certainly having a little word there. The rotund centre midfield player for AFC Hayes is just letting the referee, Mr. Bushell, know what he thinks of him. Mendy certainly a bit petulant, wasn't there, in that reaction there, as you can sometimes see him react. But ball back with Somerville for a goal kick. We have got about 10 minutes of this match left, plus a little bit of injury time because Johnny Dyer went down for a long time with his head injury before he was replaced. And Slough, it's got very bitty in here, and you just hope that Slough can get any goal that remains. And ball launched forward, Parsons underneath it, heads it into midfield, and now McClurg getting battered and buffeted around, does well. Left foot cleared ball through, and Ed Smith after it. The keeper's not coming at all, and Ed Smith after it, and he need it, karate style, need it over Ed Smith. And now McClurg's up in the battle again, and unfortunately
McManus has fallen over there, and it's given Warren Harris a chance to run.
And Warren Harris up against Crane.
Blocked him.
And Crane having a great game, puts the ball into a dangerous area for Harewood to chase after, and Harewood down in the far corner. Woos is wise to it, and Woos just sees the ball out for a goal kick. Woos again had a very strong game. I think there's been quite a good few Slough performances out there.
He has indeed. Poor old Jake's had not a lot to do, and whoever's washing his kit's got a very easy job to do tonight. That bright yellow outfit hasn't got a speck of dirt on it.
I think there was the only real save he's had to make was that save from the free kick in the first half, where he went down to his left, where Mendy whipped in that free kick, and he just palmed it away for a corner. As he clears the ball long, chipped up towards the far side. Cornell interested underneath it, and Cornell does well. Gets his body in. It seems to get a hand in the face, but the referee's not seen anything there, and Cornell's now down holding his face. This is just getting a bit of edge, and now McClurg blocks off well for short to pass him by, but the referee did see that, and so then there is a free kick for against McClurg. And McClurg's just having a word to. There's been quite a few free kicks that McClurg's given away in the last few minutes.
He's trying to find out what he's given the free kick for.
No, McClurg's going into the book now. I think there's too many free kicks over the last few minutes. I think he's had enough. He understands what McClurg's trying to do, break up the routine of the player. Now McClurg just needs to button his mouth, needs to step away, take his medicine like a man, which is sometimes a little bit harder to do. And McClurg becomes the second player to go into the book. So 38 minutes played in the second half. It remains AFC 0, Slough 1. Warren Harris got free kick on the halfway line on the far side, which Crane is stood over.
He knocks this deep into the Slough box. And
so easy for Somerville to take. It was launched all of 40-50 yards up there, and Somerville's on the left-hand edge of the box. And a bit of an anxious time here now going into the last 5 minutes of the game. As long ball forward, and Cornell, great touch outright to Harris, and Harris now picks the ball up deep inside the half, cuts inside, got got one player up against him, goes round him, tries to get the cross in, but it's blocked well. And now he's hit into the battle. And now he's got fouled. It looked like he got pulled back there by the rather large McManus, but McManus has done well. And now a long ball forward. That should be the keeper's. And Woos heads the ball home over the advancing Harewood, and now gives the ball early to Parsons. Parsons up the line to Dobbo. Dobbo on the halfway line, keeps the ball, goes simple ball back to Parsons. Parsons upfield, and now Smith's got the flick on, and Smith's going to pick up the ball almost on the edge of the box, but unfortunately Michelle just wins the ball there. But Smith's still battling in there up against Lowell, but now it's back with Michelle, who doesn't really look a real footballer. Inside to Lowell. Lowell outright to Captain Walters, still just inside their half. Lowell inside once again, but McClurg picks his pocket, picks the ball in through to Cornell. Cornell lets the ball run to Smith. Smith doesn't quite get the touch he wants it, and now McManus, who's come more and more into the game in these last 5 minutes, comes out over halfway. Mendy tries a flick, it doesn't come off. He kicks away, he rolls his head back, and Slough will be very happy to see the ball out of play. We have played 40 minutes of the second half here.
Warren Harris said when he ran down the lack of help from Sean Fraser, they're so worried about AFC Hayes on the attack that they're really not pushing forwards, and those 5 are staying at the back.
It's creating quite a gap.
Unfortunately, when the ball's coming in, there's no one else in there to get the ball.
Dobbo in absolute acres of space after being found well by McClurg in the middle of midfield, and McClurg instantly telling off the ball there, instantly telling Parsons to stay back as a ball towards a far stick. Harris tried an acrobatic kick, it didn't come off, and it's out for a goal kick. But interesting there to see McClurg immediately, as soon as Dobson was played in, Parsons' initial reaction was to come and overlap, but McClurg was barking at him to stay back in position, so they've been clearly told what to do by the management team.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to hang on to this 1-0.
As
a dangerous game to play. As
a change in the kicker now, as Crane this time's on goal kicks, they've pushed Good forward for these last 5 minutes. So Good is now playing up front, ball bobbling around in there, but no mistake from Hollis as he pumps the ball out of play. Ball quickly back in, and Crane will take that throw in. Crane throws the ball into Short, just knocks the ball out. It's a frantic pace now. It's really edge of the seat stuff. As Cornell comes in with a great tackle, and now Warren Harris has the opportunity to run himself. He tries to play it through. He seemed to get held back there, but now AFC Hayes are still pressing in the Slough half. Woos comes out well and now clicks the ball through to Ed Smith, and Ed Smith now up against the captain. High legs, he's all over the back of him. Ed Smith still holding the ball up and gets a free kick.
Got no help at all there. The ball's gone up to him. He's being marked by 2 defenders and no one at all helping out. He's been lucky to win a free kick there. Should have got one a little bit earlier with a high boot, but it's McClurg who's going to take it. Yeah, McClurg, I think, is just wasting a little bit of time. Short pass out to Warren Harris. Warren Harris now going at Crane. Tries to flick it past him, going down into the right corner. Quite happy to waste a bit of time. Staunton shut him down, but Harris does really well. Wins the corner there. We have got 3 minutes plus injury time, and Rebels have got a corner. Dobson almost walking as slow as he can to go over to that far side. Nobody going up for the corner. We've only got 4 players really anywhere near the penalty box, including Dobson, who's about to take it. They're
looking to make the final substitution, possibly to ease up a bit of time. I can see Simpton coming on. Who's he going to replace? I may even think they may pull off pull off Ed Smith potentially here and leave Cornell up there by himself. George Short going forward. Doesn't look like one of their normal planned worked mood. Woosley staying back, Hollis staying back.
But AFC Hayes have got 5 attacking players.
Cornell had a great chance there,
and another corner.
It's going to be another corner. So Slough playing in the exact area they want. Why are they driving in the box? Why aren't they just playing it short to one another?
AFC Hayes have got 5 men looking for a ball. So if the keeper does finally catch one and release one, 5 players looking to get on the end of that ball.
But why isn't Dobson just playing this short to one of his friends and then keeping it in the corner rather than lofting it in towards the far stick? But they've won another corner now on the far side, and Dobson will make his way across. But this is what I don't understand. They're going to make a final substitution, and Warren Harris is coming off, making way for Simpton. Simpton run off his dead leg from last week, which caused him. And Warren, the goal scorer, making way after 43 minutes. Dunstable 4-0 up at Chertsey. Daventry 4, St Ives 1. Chertsey 0, Dunstable 4. Some interesting scores from around the game, but Warren Harris gets a good ovation. Royston 2, Leighton 1.
Sinting comes on. Looks like he's going to hold in midfield as George Short's gone up for the corner.
But still, once again, this is a little bit naive by Slough. They're not playing a short corner. They're trying to play it into the box, which I'm not sure what you think of that. But
well, I need another goal for my prediction league, so that'd be good.
It misses all players, and now AFC Hayes have the opportunity to break. They've got plenty of players forward. there's certain nervousness from Slough. McClurg might well, hopefully not concede a silly free kick, but does well to hold up Thomas here. And McClurg still got plenty of work. And Simpton now on the ball. Simpton stretches out a great long leg, and Dobson's in there. Dobson chips the ball forward to Ed Smith. Ed's in. Ed Smith's going to have a time, shoots it and passes it back, side-footed in the centre down LaFole's. And that should have been that. That should have been your prediction goal. But unfortunately, as it is, LaFoule rolls it out. Crane advances halfway. Now picked up by McManus. McManus on the halfway line, looking out right. Simple short ball through to Staunton. Staunton flicks the ball on, but Fraser comes in well short, caught after the ball's gone. The referees didn't even see that as a foul. Simpson picks up well. McClurg picks it up. Short ball to Ed Smith up on the halfway line.
He's but Ed Smith, the ball, but there's no one giving him an option.
And George Short now picks up. Run it yourself, George. George Short flicks the ball long straight through to the keeper. The keeper's not going to kick it, so Cornell, get up there. He's not going to kick it. Oh, he might kick it.
This is kind of like an Aussie rules punt when he kicks it, but he's thrown it out.
He's thrown it out to home plate, and Ed Smith right. Go back and chase it, Ed, as the keeper's not very comfortable on the floor and just oofs it up the line, but this is simple for Woosley to come round, take a little bit of time, compose himself and clear the ball up the line. Wins the throw in.
Who's playing up front, who's closed that one down.
We are into additional time here.
But Slough aren't pressing forward. When the ball went out there to Smith, there was no one wide for anyone to receive the ball. Everyone is trying to defend. They're playing too deep at the moment, Slough.
So it remains AFC Hayes 0, Slough 1. We're into the 46th minute here. We will have a few minutes. Guy Hollis thrown out up the line from his own half, up in the direction of Cornell. Cornell jumps well but doesn't win the ball. McClurg comes through, clips the ball, left foot hook up the line towards Ed Smith. McHale wins it well. Now in midfield, and now plenty of players underneath it. Short wins the header, heads it on to Cornell. Cornell with Dobson in. Clergy got plenty of time in midfield, just inside the other half, but
and he's giving
holds
it away.
On the ball too long
on the ball.
Good wins the ball, passes the ball through, and Hollis is now in a foot race up against Thomas, and Thomas just kicks out at Hollis, and Hollis, who's been one of the most solid players of the day, simply watches that ball go out. And
McClurg had options there to pass that ball wide or to a spare player, but he divvied on it, kept turning back on himself, and then lost the ball.
This is squeaky bum time again, ladies and gentlemen. Slough certainly want to put us through the ringer at the end of these games. They still lead 1-0 at Hayes. Sunville on the ball. Near side to us on halfway, we have Cornell and Dobson interested in the ball. The ball's on Cornell's head. Cornell's up with it, and it's missed both of them. And the ball's going to go in. And immediately in front of us, up. Parsons wins it strongly, but picked up by McManus. But Cornell's interested. He's gone down like an absolute sack of spuds. It right in front of us. There's no free kick there, but once again they're quickly taking this free kick.
And they spread it wide to Crane on the left.
Crane got it in the left back position. I've lost my team sheet. We won't worry about it. Dummied well there by Thomas and hooked up the line by Ed Smith out towards it, and none of the Slough fans are in any hurry to give that ball back as Michelle tries to pass that ball forward.
It's Crane with a throw, and he's taken it about 10 yards away from where the ball's gone out.
We have played 47.5 minutes here at Farm Marsh. It remains Slough Town 1 goal to the good. Daventry 5, St Ives 1 at the moment.
Ball's been thrown out to Mendy, who's played it to McManus, plays it forward to good up front now, but
Mendy's got it. Hollis comes across. Hollis comes across. He's had Mendy in his pocket all game long. Clears the ball out the stadium, and the Hayes bench of reactions.
To a different borough, that one. I'd dread to feel sorry for the ball boy there. That's a long clearance from
Crane deep inside the Slough half will throw the ball in, throws the ball into the box at Goods' feet. Goods tries to turn it, passes it on the edge of the box, and now Slough have an opportunity, and unfortunately hoofed clear by McClurg. And now the keeper's picked it up inside his own half to Walters, who's now in the left back position. Ed Smith's after him. Ed Smith puts pressure on him, but it comes out to Staunton. Deep inside the Dalton. Dobbo runs a long way, puts him under pressure. Now ball free. Now headed clear. It's on. Ball's on halfway line. And two Slough players closing him down, but Thomas does well. Clips the ball up the line, but only finds Parsons. Parsons got a moment. Clips the ball long, and Dobbo's in. Dobson's offside. 2-15s pushing one another. Dobson's kicked the ball away. The keeper's got it. And players aren't quite agreeing, but there's the end is...
That was level with us, John, and it didn't look offside when the ball was
played. They look shoulder to shoulder. Walters got a free kick. 15 yards in the Hayes half. We've played 49 minutes here. How long is this referee going to play? Is it a curse that Slough have? The referee's signalling as the ball's gone all the way across the far left-hand side. Crane hooks it into the box. Headed out by George. And that is not that. I thought that might have been that,
No,
but the referee
would have gone out before Crane tried to hook that back. So to throw in.
The Slough management are claiming that they've been told that it was 4 additional minutes, and they have had all 4 of those additional, which I quite agree with at this stage now. So the referee can't be saying that there's going to be a lot left here. As
There's
that is it, and Slough have picked up another vital 3 points in their push for promotion. Daventry have also won. They made a little bit of hard work of it, but that's got to be one of the most difficult games of
Yeah, but 3 points is 3 points. The guys have played very well today to deserve that. Not a lot of goal scoring opportunity for AFC Hayes, but they've defended very well. The 2 guys at the back, Mako and Goods, been outstanding today.
And a certain elderly Mr. Fowler comes past and wishes us well as the Slough fans cheer their players off the pitch. Lots of shaking hands. The referee didn't, I think, had a particularly bad game, but that's a real result. Matty Bonnet hobbling his way back across the pitch with his broken leg. Is anyone going to wait for him?
No, they're just going to make him walk on his own.
A good hand, though, here by the Slough faithful to celebrate yet another 3 points. And that, I believe, is that 6 wins on the bounce? I think it may well be.
6 wins on the bounce, yep.
So they have come into their own. Simpson made a good late cameo. Fraser was awesome. Who would you say is your man of the match for today?
It's very difficult to choose between Guy Hollis and Dave Woosley today. They both played very well. Jake Somerville's just
nearly not.
He's almost fallen over with his one good leg.
Touching distance with these 4 games remaining. Kettering final score 3-0. Potters Bar 3, North Greenfield.
And we haven't really exploited that fact, but it all bodes well. 3 points.
Aylesbury 0, Northwood 0. So Northwood are more out of it. As David goes past, we'll say goodbye to you, David. As he just makes his way through. We'll sign off now shortly. I hope you've all enjoyed the coverage. Thank you once again, as ever, to Adrian, who's given up his space behind the goal. I'm sure at home games he's still going to be there behind the goal, so don't you worry.
Yeah, well, sometimes do the turnstile on home games if there's 2 people needed, and a bit of aftermatch stewarding as well. So
yes.
I'll be doing that at the home game next.
Good.
But, next up for me, I think, will be Friday night's quiz night for the Adam Fowler injury appeal.
Yeah, and that's if you are in the area, if you can get yourself down there, please do. It's a really, really worthy cause. It's £5 for an entry. You can have a maximum of 8 in your team. It's a 7:45 start. It's at the Slough Polish Association, Stoke Poges, SL2 4NZ. There's already been over £1,000 raised for Adam Fowler. I know he's terribly grateful. We're going to try and interview him, I think, sometime this week. But please get yourself down there. Just so that you know, if you are coming to Ashford next week, the kick-off will be at 3:07, not the normal 3 o'clock, and that is due to it being in memory of the Hillsborough disaster. I think nearly 80 or 90% of the games around the country all kick off at 3:07.
Yeah, I think the same for the Friday nights and the Sunday night games. They're going to kick off 7 minutes later on those days as well.
And finally, thank you very much. Love you. Thank you. And just finally, I mean, it's another game that Ed's got through without getting booked. So I think the last one that he has to avoid is next Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see what the management team to do.
Yeah, he does get very downhearted when he doesn't score. So let's hope he doesn't take that frustration out on another opposing player.
No, and now it is just literally me and Adrian left. Every other soul has gone, and we're off to go and nick some of those balls from around the corner.
I think we were going to nick these supposed seats from the Olympic Stadium that are behind us. As we were politely informed, they cost 50 quid each.
We'll wish you all well. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much, Adrian, and we'll speak to you
John.
soon. Cheers. Bye bye.